We're live! It's alive! Seriously, I really need to get like lightning in the background whenever I say that. Welcome to Retro Role Playing. I am Nicholas Skinner, the co-founder of Skinner Games, and we are here with 3 out of 6 of our regular players. All right, hopefully a couple more people will show up. I'm about to send a text to one of them. One of them said he wouldn't be able to make it. And I haven't heard back from another person. But we'll see what we can see. Tonight we will be playing one of my favorite retro clones. Hold on, give me one sec. Let me remind this guy real quick again for the second time today. There we go. That has come out. It clones the old school Holmes edition, the blue box of Dungeons and Dragons, and it is the Blue Home Princess Rules. Now we do have the expanded edition also that goes up to level 20. Michael Thomas, the author, was kind enough to send us that to do a quick review of. So if you guys want to take a look at that, I have a review in 5 minutes or less video on that, and that kind of compares and contrasts all of them, the Holmes edition and the 2 versions of Blue Home. So that's neat. But tonight we're going to be running a live play review of it. So what we're going to do is we have made characters previously for a recurring storyline that we play through, and we are taking those characters and translating them between whichever systems we choose to play at the moment. And tonight we have taken our characters from Beyond the Wall, and we have translated them into Blue Home, and we're going to see how the system plays. And we're going to give a quick review afterwards for those of you who don't watch the show regularly. For those of you who do, welcome back. We have a live chat going, so anybody who wants to chime in, feel free to do so. 1 second, take a drink. But we will get started with playing. Now, last time, what we did was we rolled for random adventures, as we tend to do with Beyond the Wall, and there was the Troubled Village is what we were going through last time. And the village had a big storm that kind of isolated them from some people, and eventually they discovered that there was an illness that had started through their village. It was called what did I call it? The Weeping Fever, I believe. And people were leaking blood out of their eyes and other orifices while they were having a fever. And the characters were sent to go find an herb in a nearby forest. During some of their investigation into this disease, they also discovered a recent newcomer to town who was the resident hunter and ranger. Seems to be doing something rather sketchy, and they were investigating him in the process. Where we left off was the players walking into the forest, attempting to chase down this new ranger and the things that he is getting into. And I totally forgot that section of notes that had all of those things. No, wait, I can pull that up in a PDF. So we will pick up where we left off. And the author has joined our chat. Welcome, Michael, to our game. Hopefully we don't screw up your system too bad. And you enjoy watching us muddle around. But let's have our players introduce their characters a little bit before we get started, so you guys can be a little bit more familiar with them. So Tim and Lydia, why don't you introduce your characters, and then Joe after they're done.
All right, so I'm Tim, and I'm going to be playing a fighter under this system. His name is Ape.
That's not the sound Ape normally makes.
No. All right, so yeah, he's big, he's beefy, he's super strong, has a lot of hit points. He's not very wise, though.
No. So, in our campaign setting, Ape is what's called a wolfkin.
He froze.
Well, you can describe Ape.
Okay. Ape is big. Ape is hairy. He's very aggressive. Doesn't really think before he acts, and doesn't really learn that quickly from mistakes he's made before. So this time around, I changed up the weapons I have. So this time I'll be fighting with a halberd. It'll be really fun. And I wear mail armor.
Awesome. So I totally just missed like the last 30 seconds of that because my internet dropped out. But
Sweet.
We
yeah,
covered.
Cool. Lydia.
Yeah, so my character's name's Avarian. She was a Beastmaster, which is supposed to be a rogue magic user, but in the new system I looked at my stats and decided that was a terrible idea, so I picked a cleric instead.
Nice.
Because I at least have good wisdom now. Okay. Yeah, that's my character.
Cool. Everybody needs a cleric in the party anyway.
Yep.
Joe?
All right. I'm playing Alan Ashdown. In the past session, I was a performer. I love doing commanding presence and stuff like that to help out. And I had a level 22 charisma. And of course, this session doesn't allow that. So I dropped my charisma down to 18. And I decided to try and find as bard-like seduction type talents as possible. And I noticed that the magic users have spells like Charm Person and stuff. So I've converted my performer into a magic user and still going along the same lines as control spells like that.
Cool. Nolan, welcome to the party.
Hello.
So you were playing Tancred, who was a Templar last time. I don't remember if he was a cross-class or not, but tell us about what you're doing this time.
They don't have a paladin or anything kind of like that. Cleric. I chose fighter. I think that's... He
Okay.
didn't really have any... I mean, he had a little healing stuff, but mostly he fought. So
Right, cool.
I went with that.
Decision.
Hmm?
I made a wise decision. It was between
Yes, you
fighter or
did.
cleric, and I picked cleric.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So we have a pretty cool party. 2 fighters, a cleric, and a magic user. It seems pretty standard. So the reason why we have kept saying they didn't have this, so this is what we chose, is that the Prentice rules is very, very, very basic. It's got 4 classes. You are a fighter, a cleric, a magic user, or a thief. There are the handful of races that normally come in most, very basic bones role-playing games. So you have your dwarf, your halfling, and your elf, and you've got your only 5 alignment chart there instead of the whole gamut. So it breaks it down to be this really playable, really teachable system, which is one of the reasons why I quite like it. Is it's very, very easy to play. It's very, very easy to teach. You can sit down, in 5 minutes, make a character, and play the game in an afternoon, and it isn't super hard. The point of the original Holmes edition was to kind of bridge the gap between war gamers who kind of got more of the original D&D better than people who had never been introduced to war games, and like I said, the novices. So the Blue Home is reproducing that for a modern audience. So it changes something subtly from the original Holmes edition. Improvements in my mind. You're not playing like elf as a class. I always thought that was kind of funny, as much as people may flame me for that one. Because leveling up in elf has always seemed kind of funny. You're more of an elf than you were before. Always seems kind of odd to me. So the races act more like templates now, which is nice, and it allows you to get more experience in the class instead of just random elf levels. Anyway, so it's neat. I like it, and you guys will get to see it in action now. Chris won't be able to make it tonight. He was playing another magic user named Erend. So we will get started since we have all the other players who are going to make it. Okay, and Nolan, I don't know if you remember, but you guys were on your way into the wood to find an herb to help heal a fever that was raging through the town, the little village, and you were also investigating a ranger type who seems pretty sketchy.
I thought there was a missing child, too.
No.
I don't remember that one.
Confusing. Never mind.
There was a missing goat kid, which you have.
Oh,
You know.
that's
Yeah.
that kind of kid. Got it.
Yeah. Close, but no cigar on that one. And the bear is still around.
Sweet.
Yeah, you can keep your bear companion. I was trying to remember what the bear's name was.
I think it was Bumble.
Yes, it was. That's right. I remember it had something to do with bees. Okay, so we have a bear, we have a kid, as in goat, as part of the party. And the bear, and you have to control it so it doesn't eat the goat. I know, right? Our Templar running around on a goat.
It's my first steed.
It's your first steed as a baby goat.
Garth Goat Rider.
Cool. So, in the live chat, the author who has joined us, I don't know if Nolan heard that part, but he has stated that paladins and some of the other classes will appear in a planned expansion. So that's cool. It'll be interesting to see that take on a Holmes edition paladin. I'm pretty interested to see how that's going to go. Okay, so let's get started with our game. Okay, so you guys were adventuring at night. To sum it up
That's a terrible idea.
Yeah, well, you guys decided to do that. You had been enchanted at one point, Avarian, to attempt to follow
Touch the rock.
a fairy song. There is a town or a cairn in the town that had special carvings on it, and music was coming out of it, and you were the only one that heard it, and were following it. Before the fever hit and all that other stuff went down. So you guys got a lot of little plot threads flown around. But it was night then, and it's gotten to darker night now. So you can either continue to try and walk into the wood at night, or you guys can figure out what else you decide you want to do.
Were we right at the hunter, the trapper's campsite, correct?
Correct. So you guys are right
Why
on
don't you
the
camp
edge.
there.
Yeah, we're going to camp here.
You can if you decide you want to. You're right on the edge of the... Hang on. Pull up my PDF of all of my locations here. Was it the Axwell, the Cragmore? No. Was it the Dreadmoors? The Frostmark, Greystone. It's sad when you can't remember the stuff you named. I know, right? Like, I spent all this time making this player's guide to this place, and I can't even remember the name. Okay, the Darkwood. Yeah, you guys are right on the edge of the Darkwood. Oh no, it's even got that nice foreboding name. So yeah, you guys can spend the rest of the night here. I will, you guys are starting with clean spells anyway, so we don't have to worry about that too much. But you will spend the night if you decide you want to. Make camp at the Hunter's Camp. Is that what you continue to decide to do?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay. Do you guys want to start early? Do you want to start later in the day? When do you want to start looking?
We can start early, can't we? Dawn break.
Let's say.
Ideally, we should, because it gives us more time to do some searching.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll say it's about the middle of the night at the moment. So how long do you guys want to spend sleeping?
6 hours.
I sleep till I'm rested.
Good call.
So is that 6 hours?
Yeah.
Depends. If I'm not feeling rested after 6 hours, I'll just keep sleeping.
How about you give me a solid answer so that we can
6
continue with
hours. We're gonna sleep 6 hours.
the game? Okay. Do we want to set a watch, or do you just want to trust that you're in the village and everything is kosher? Even though there's
Medieval
Probably do a
fantasy, we don't
watch.
have watches.
yeah.
Have the bear watch.
I
You can
don't
watch
think the
the
bear
goat.
would. I don't think the bear would cooperate.
Probably not. So what's the game plan?
How about you, doggy?
Hush. I'll watch. I'll be the watchdog.
Okay, so you're going to stay awake all 6 hours?
Yeah, but if I
He's
get
dog
tired, I'm gonna walk off somewhere and crash.
Well,
Alright.
there's 4 of us. Let's just divide it up
Okay.
an hour.
I'll take the first 3 hours. You take the other 3 hours.
All right, sounds like a plan. I'm
Okay.
good. Okay, Nothing happens in the night. Okay, we'll just keep going from there. And all that debate on who's going where, and was nope, nothing happens. Okay, so you guys wake up, spend your quick 6 hours sleeping, and you wake up to a nice bright morning. There's dew on the grass, and the sun is starting to peek over the hills. The cairn stands in the distance behind the church, and the sunlight is streaming on your faces, so it wakes you up. There's nice, birds chirping in the background, and the dark wood, though still foreboding in the background. You can smell the pine and the other underbrush on the light breeze in the morning. It's not cold, but it isn't warm. It's a nice cool morning, so you guys aren't exactly uncomfortable. The foresters still aren't back from whatever it is that they've been doing. The ranger had some apprentices that he was training, so you're not quite sure what they're all up to. You guys did search around the previous night when you got to the encampment, and you guys are clear to do whatever it is you want to do.
Okay, well, we needed to find an ingredient, right, for a cure? The herb?
Yep.
Correct.
Okay, somebody want to help me refresh my memory? What did the herb look like?
I don't believe I described it.
Sweet.
But
didn't me and the magic user know what it looked like?
yes.
Correct. You had a knowledge base on what it was. I just didn't give you an actual legitimate description.
Okay, so what type of plant are we looking for?
It is related to the thistle, but it only grows.
Character sniff it.
Yes,
Okay.
but it only grows in the dark wood, so you've got to go searching for it.
All right,
Let's go
so
looking, guys.
we're basically looking for a spiky plant.
Correct.
Yes.
Sweet.
In that forest.
Yes, and the aptly named Darkwood. For even though the sunlight is shining happy and cheerful in your lives currently, it doesn't seem to penetrate the boughs of the Darkwood. The upper canopy is too thick with pine and other trees, and even though the seasons come and go, it always appears that the Darkwood stays fairly consistent. So even though it's fall, the leaves don't seem to be falling, but they're not green. It is a dark and dangerous place. Those who haven't been properly trained don't normally go into the dark wood. And people have told many, many stories of very dangerous creatures that have lurked inside, including the trees themselves.
Oh, great.
Fun. Well, we got to rescue the people of the village.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, and on a side note, if we don't have our actual physical dice, you need to go grab them because the system no longer supports digital dice. Yes.
I noticed that. I made my daughter go grab them.
Well, unless you have them on your iPad or something, which I do too. But I like the sound and the feel of rolling normal dice anyway. So, and these ones actually came out of the 5th edition starter box set, which I bought recently, and they're actually pretty slick. I was impressed by the quality of the dice, and that was pretty much the only thing I was impressed by the quality in that set.
Ouch, that sounds pretty harsh.
For being as much budget as you would think Dungeons & Dragons would have, it wasn't as impressive as I was expecting it to be. The system itself is fine, not to get on a sidetrack because we're actually supposed to be talking about printing. The quality of the material and what you're doing is great, but the actual product itself was actually mildly disappointing. Fantasy Flight Games Force and Destiny box set was super amazing by comparison.
Well, let's go into the woods, guys.
Can't wait.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Whoa.
Okay, so you guys will walk up to the edge of the forest. It is deeply thick with underbrush, so you guys are going to have to either cut through or try to stomp through it. You know also that this herb doesn't grow on the edges of the wood, so you actually have to go inside.
Darn.
Okay.
Here, I was hoping for a shortcut.
I know, right? You're just stomping around all of a sudden. Ow, dang, I got it. What is this? Oh, prickly. Okay, it's what we need. We're done.
Okay, well, I'm going to use my hand axe and start clearing brush.
All right.
Chop, 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 hack, hack, hack.
Chop, 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 hack, hack, hack. Okay, so we'll do that while the rest of your party members kind of stand by and loafing. The kid will start.
I'm gonna follow and play my pan flute.
Play your pan flute.
Yep.
All I have is a mace. I can't really clear brush with that.
Nice. So you are playing
Bear,
a jolly
go,
tune.
Bear, go make a trail.
And it'll kind of rake its claws across it and stamp on it. It gets a splinter in its hand.
Good bear.
That's what bears sound like when they get splinters.
Oh man, my wife's saying there's this amazing picture. There's a reserve where we grew up, and there's this home video that they took where they're driving through it, and this bear is super lazy. People have been throwing bread at it for decades, but it's got its mouth hanging out, and it's all like trying to eat it, and it just like sits there. People throw bread at it, and if it doesn't get in its mouth, it won't try and eat it. It was hysterical. This old school family movie, and literally, like somebody threw a piece of bread right next to it, and it looked at it, and it went back to like having its tongue hang out, waiting for people to throw bread in its mouth. I was like, freaking lazy bear. It was hilarious. Anyway, enough sidetrack there. Okay, so you guys make it into the dark wood, and you feel the air that is very still pressing in on you as you make it through. Every now and then, you'll see a ray of sunlight burst through the canopy, but for the most part, it's pretty dark, It's hard to see in front of you.
That's really
Torches.
aptly named.
So yes, if you have torches, they would be convenient to be, lit.
Okay, I pull out a torch.
I pull out a torch.
You're chopping the brush.
Got a torch in one hand, my hand axe in the other.
Well, if it's underbrush, right? You just set it all on fire, and it'll clear it away pretty good.
Yeah.
Burning on the forest.
We're gonna slash and burn. We're gonna create some more farmland.
I'm tired of this being the dark forest. We're gonna set fire to the undergrowth.
Certainly clear.
No, you're not, because we're in here too.
Hey, I have flasks of oil. I can make this work.
Oh no.
Okay.
I think I could use one of my flasks and write my letters of my name, and then just light it on. Ape.
Nice. Okay. All right. Sorry, gathering my thoughts. Okay, so you guys are slashing your way through this wood, and the wood begins to feel, closer in description. The more that you guys, hack at things, and the more, light that gets brought in here, the more it just seems to be fairly claustrophobic, and the air seems to crackle with an energy that you guys have not felt before.
I think the trees are mad at us, guys.
I don't like how it's feeling in here.
Is it from any particular direction, or is it all around?
It does seem to actually be from a particular direction.
Let's
From
go.
the,
Finish what you're saying.
I was going to say it's from the northeastern direction.
Or is that the way we're headed, or is that the way?
It is not currently the way you're headed, I suppose. You guys didn't really give me a direction, but
East.
you're currently headed east.
Sure, why
Are we
not?
guys?
Well, you guys do have a player's guide to this, whole
Where
town.
is that? If
So-
I open that up, Tim.
Skip down. Page
Here.
15 is where you find the write-up for the Darkwood.
You're the one who knows how to run this. Find it.
Okay, so the Darkwood. To the northwest of the town, several hundred yards from the main hall, but not quite reaching into the valley, though an ever-present reminder of the frightening and ancient world, grows a branch of the Darkwood, a good source of game and firewood. The local hunters and townsfolk nevertheless treat the wood with care and respect, saying a small prayer to the trees before entering and thanking it for its bounty,
Oops.
which it didn't do. Whether silly see, this is why it's important to read players' guides when game masters give them to you. Note to people watching: important information lies within. Whether silly tradition or
Can we
not.
apologize to the trees?
I would.
And here's the best part of it that you guys, whether silly tradition or not, people don't want to run the risk of angering the old forest or the rumored fairy inhabitants therein.
Yikes.
Yeah, the reason why I was kind of, letting you guys flounder a bit is because I was hoping somebody would have read it, and I was waiting for somebody to say, we say a small prayer before we enter the wood. Nope, you start hacking and slashing. And
I'm going to continue to play a happy note tune on my pan flute and hopefully appease the woods.
Hopefully appease the woods.
This one's going out to all the trees.
Pretty much.
Nice.
Should we say a prayer, guys?
Oh, wait,
Apologize.
totally forgot.
Oops.
So sorry. Okay. So what do you guys decide to do then? Now that you're in this forest, having
This angry forest.
missed something important because you didn't read the guide and started hacking and slashing and wandering inside.
What's the worst that can happen?
Well, there's a crackling magical energy you guys weren't expecting.
We're looking for magic, so we're right on the right track.
All right, so you guys decided you wanted to follow it, right?
Yes.
No.
Okay,
Oh.
that's.
We forgot about the whole praying for the woods, so we do not know in character that that's the direction that it's angry at us.
Assuming that that's even the case, you have no
Yeah.
idea what's going on here. Because I also said it's not just the wood, but the fairy folk that were, lie within the wood itself. So, assuming that any of this stuff is angry at you in the first place, which it may not be, you don't know.
I'm going to continue to play my happy music.
Okay. Do 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 as you're walking along,
Like
skipping
the Lost
through
Woods
the
song from Zelda.
underbrush. Okay. Nice. All right. So you guys are following this crackling energy, yes?
Yes.
Okay. It's not quite like lightning, but it seems that periodically you'll get a quick spark or a quick burst of seeming blue flame that peaks occasionally every now and then.
Are you guys sure this is a good idea?
Well, we're trying to find that herb. Do you know a better
And
place
you
in this
think
woods?
this electricity will lead us to it?
Well, it's a magical herb, right?
Must be a
Yeah,
very
well,
powerful one.
I don't think it would manifest like this.
Well, how would it manifest?
I don't know.
Okay, start searching the forest floor.
Well, you're gonna die.
Well, you might. I won't.
Okay, I want everybody to make me a wisdom check. Roll a d20, and we'll go from there.
I rolled a 1.
Nice.
13.
I rolled a 4.
Sorry, wrong character sheet. We're doing what now? Wisdom?
Yeah.
Okay. I have a wisdom of 14, so I rolled a 14.
Okay. So as the Wolfkin is hacking and slashing his way through the forest, Avarian and Tancred actually, right before Ape slices through a particularly large, thorny-looking bush, see a number of red glowing eyes
Ape,
within the
stop!
bush and are able to alert him before he stumbles into a nest of giant rats. However, they do attack you. So somebody roll me initiative.
Oh, come
Do you
on.
remember how this works?
18.
4.
That's not how that works in this game.
Is not.
Oh, wait, no. Was it a D6?
How about we consult the rules?
Go in there now.
I think it was.
Oh, my number was good too.
Sorry. We are looking on page 14, by the way.
I was almost there.
That's where we were just a minute ago. No.
Just a second. Alright, when the encounter occurs, if one side is not aware of the opponents, they are surprised and roll a 1 or 2 on a d6.
Okay. What it is, it's not actually rolling. I was testing you guys. It's in order of dex.
Oh dear.
Yep. So no rolling for initiative, which I actually like.
Oh wait,
As
if 2 or
much
more
as-
combined have a dex the same, then it's 1d6. Okay.
Correct.
Oh,
So that's the way that one thing that Blueholme is slightly different in than a lot of other contemporary D20 games is you roll for initiative where you roll a D20, add your dexterity modifier, and whoever goes. It's nice to get a different order of stuff going on, but it actually kind of slows combat down to always either roll initiative every turn like some people do, or when you just roll initiative for the entire combat round. When you have just your dexterity period that you're going for, then it's quicker. I mean, everybody knows who's going first, in what order, everything's happening. If monsters show up, then it kind of shifts that a little bit as to whichever monster's going first. But it makes it really quite quick, which I enjoy from a dungeon master standpoint. It makes everything better. So, dexterity, please.
9.
What was that?
9.
9. So Tancred has 9.
Ours is both 8.
8.
9.
Nice. Okay, so it looks like we're having a decent roll off between Ape and Avarian, and then Alan, Ashdown, and Tancred.
6.
4.
2.
Okay. So we'll make Alan Ashdown 10 for a second, and what was it between Avarian and Ape?
He won.
You want, okay. So we have 10, 11. Okay. Right there. Okay. So the order of attack within the combat is Alan Ashdown, then it is Tancred, Ape, and then Avarian. And the monsters will go in between Ape and Tancred. Okay, so Alan, you see a nest of rats, as they have been called to your attention. You currently see 3 of them.
All right.
Within your striking distance.
They're in my striking distance? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and swing with my dagger. I rolled a 13.
Okay, a 13 will definitely strike as you make your... Wait, actually. Your AC 7. You said 13?
Yep.
Okay. Level your character level first. Yes, you will hit.
Okay. And I rolled a 6 on a 6-sided die, so sweet.
Alright, cool. You will skewer the first rat in the back of its skull, and it falls limp at your feet.
Oh, look, rat on a stick.
And for those of you watching, the Blue Homes rules and the edition, or, the original Homes edition rules uses the tables to roll for AC. So it's negative AC. It's not quite THAC0, but close enough for government work as far as I'm concerned. And since I work for the government, yeah. So these rats have an AC of 7, and you consult the table. They roll whatever, and it tells you what AC 7 is, and you cross-reference. Boom, that's the roll you need to be able to get it. It's an older version of the rules. It's not like ascending armor class where you have to get equal to or over the number of defense. So for those of you who may not have used the system before, that's how that works. I know we kind of struggled through it before when we were playing. It was Osric with Ravenloft. We had kind of a difficult time with it. Adjusting, I've never actually used it before, so it's the first time using it. That was fun, but definitely a learning experience. Okay, so the next person to go is Tancred.
All right. Is there one within range for me?
There is. You guys are all kind of close together.
An 11.
11. An 11 will actually miss. So the rats have been, aware of your presence, and as you attempt to strike, the rat skitters out of the way. That is correct, right? Yes. Okay. All right, but it will turn and strike at you in return. What was your AC?
Mine is 5.
Yours is 5. All right, and it is here. HT1. You said 5. Okay. Whoa. Okay. It misses. I'm assuming you're armored up, right?
Yes.
All right. Yeah. So its teeth skits across your armor as you deftly attempt to move out of the way. Ooh. And the other rat that you guys can see accidentally bites its fellow as it was attempting to bite you at the same time, Tancred, but the deflection of your armor from the previous rat and it's moving. Oh man. And he accidentally bites his nest mate in the jugular, and the previous one bleeds out. As it, rolled a 1 to attack and then rolled max damage. So, and they're rats. They have a lot of hit points.
Check fire! Check fire!
I know, right? Friendly fire! Turn it off, man! I thought you said. All right. So the last rat will actually no, because they both went. So it is Ape's turn.
Okay. So I'm gonna attack.
Okay.
Last one.
Sounds good.
Okay, I rolled a 12.
All right. A 12 will hit.
Yay.
Are you biting it, or are you using your weapons?
Well, what die do I roll? The same d6 for biting?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm using my hand axe since it's already in my hand.
Okay.
So the roll's 4.
For damage?
Yeah.
Okay. You will cleave its head from its shoulders with your one slice. Ka-ching! As your axe rings out across the forest. Which, considering how dense it is, that's an interesting thing.
Huh.
Yay, I killed it. Now I'm going to skin it.
Okay.
It's meat.
Are you for reals gonna actually skin it?
Yes, I'm going to skin it.
Right now?
Yes, right now.
Okay.
Can you
All
do it
right.
while we
So,
walk?
what was that?
Can you do it while we walk?
Do it while we walk. Do you wish to attempt to do that? They're asking you a legitimate question, Abe.
Yes, I will do it while we walk for the sake of my team.
So
I
glad
see
you
what
thought
you-
of us. So glad you thought
Yeah,
of
I know.
us.
Do you leave a blood trail for other things to follow?
Good, more XP. Look,
Today is full of bad decisions.
my character is not very wise, okay? This is something normal.
That's something normal. All right.
Put that down.
No.
Okay. I need you guys, somebody. No, because you're not declaring that yet. What do you decide you want to do? Okay. On a side note, since this is an old school version of Dungeons and Dragons, one thing that we need to be a little more keenly aware of as we play the older versions is you have to be kind of more specific on what's going on. In some of the newer versions, especially 3.5 and beyond, you trigger a lot more things in the system because there's a lot more stuff to handle, a lot of the skills and things like that. So, for instance, at least at my table and in some other games that I've played, if you're just wandering in the forest, your game master will periodically ask you to make survival checks or things like that to see if you get lost. I am not going to do that because this is an old school version of Dungeons and Dragons, and you as the players need to be a little bit more interactive on what you are doing and what you're saying. That was one thing I really, really love about the older systems and why we've been playing them so heavily, is because it's more player-driven rather than rules-driven, which you don't necessarily have to do. I realize that with newer editions, 3.5 and 5th edition, you don't have to do that, or 4th edition even. You can still play it a lot in the older way. However, the rules are very different, and it leaves more for an interesting narrative thing. Now that you guys do that, you want to make sure that you are stating things. We are looking for this so that we don't get lost. We're going to be looking for moss on the side of a tree to make sure we're going in the correct direction or anything like that. Otherwise, I will lose you in the woods and you will not know. Just as a heads up.
Well, we're leaving a pretty good trail, right? I don't think we're going to get lost.
Yeah, I know, right? Just cutting the swath. This trail. But it says, is it the direction you want to be heading in, is my point.
Okay.
Stuff like that. So as we experienced when we were walking through Ravenloft and the 10-foot pole and some of those old school things that are important, it plays significantly differently than a lot of the newer systems, which is why I like playing them so much. I think it makes the players think a lot more about how to go about doing things. They don't have as many neat powers and abilities and things like that to kind of overcome specific situations. It's literally the thought of the players and whatever it is the GM comes up with and whatever situations you get yourselves into. Natural consequences. You don't have snazzy fun abilities to try and get over this stuff. It's you and your wits. Or depending if your character is really horrible wits, then it's your wisdom being better than your character and you being irritated because your character doesn't think of it. I thought of this cool plan, but my character is an idiot, so that's not going to work. Because that's happened on a regular basis. Okay, so enough pontificating on my soapbox about old school versions versus new school versions. Let's get to going.
Okay,
so you guys, what was that?
Let's stop a minute. Me and the other guy who actually know about the plant. Let's call up what sort of environment does it grow by? Does it grow by water, or besides it being in the Darkwood, do we know anything else about it?
Your magic user, Erend, who I forgot to participate in the last combat, you consult, and he says, in my books with my order, we have discovered that it grows deep in the Darkwood along the particular forest of trees near a river that flows deep in the wood, and that's where we have discovered it most often. So I think that's where we need to go. I think there.
Oh, he sounds sure.
Okay.
Well, he is only a level 1 wizard.
Right. Well, we had these rats we just killed. Does it look like there's a pathway that they keep traveling back and forth? Because animals have to have water too.
I don't know.
I'm going to look at the ground. I'm going to see if I can see markings of a pathway that the rats may have traveled multiple times.
Okay. What is your wisdom score, just in general?
8.
8. Okay. All right. You won't notice anything that calls out a particular pathway. You see lots of little things throughout the underbrush, but you're not sure if it's a path made by rats or it's just the way that the wood grows.
Guys, I'm not a hunter. I'm a performer. I have no clue what I'm doing here.
Well, how about you, dog man? Can you sniff out where the rats might have been going? Can you sniff a trail?
Sure.
Here, well, let me put a rat in his face first and say, find more, find more.
He's
No
skinny.
need. No,
Yeah.
you don't need to. Get that out of my face. I'm already holding this one. See?
Put that down.
Is he holding it or eating it at this point?
I'm not done taking its skin off.
Why? Do...
He's making himself a hat.
No, actually, gloves.
A hat. This is not Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't think I missed that reference, Joe. Okay. So as your wolfkin creepily skins this rat as you walk along, will somebody take up his bushwhacking duties, or are we just trying to muscle through?
Honestly, I have just a dagger. It's not going to help me get through the woods.
You
I
could
can-
borrow his axe.
I'll muscle through.
You'll muscle through?
Yeah. I don't.
Okay.
I have a long sword. That's not really gonna help chop anything. So
Not terribly, no. I mean, it would do better than nothing, but
Ape, can I use your axe for a little bit?
You can use my halberd and clear more ground that way.
All right, I grab his halberd and I look at it and I go, how do I use this?
You
Just
just
start swinging.
you just swing it.
I swing blindly.
you swing blindly.
Swing
Ow!
it away from me. Swing
Okay.
it over there.
So you swinging blindly, you'll hit trees, bing, and you'll just make a whole ton of noise.
Do I notice anything when I make that noise?
You do, as an arrow flies past your head.
Whoa.
Jeez, man, the trees must really hate us.
No, and in the
I'm
background
gonna
you'll
yell
start
out
to
the hunter's
hear
name.
some chittering. As
Oh, great.
a number of smallish goblins pop out of the wood.
Medieval forest Jawas.
There's a small group of 5 of them, 2 of which are armed with bows. The other 3 have wicked curved swords.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, and do we want to have another roll off between the same characters, or do we just want to keep the same initiative that we had last time?
So I'm gonna assume we notice each other at the same time, right?
Correct. It's not a surprise. They shot an arrow at you guys and missed. So
Okay, then I'm gonna use my hulking size, and I'm just gonna let out the mightiest roar I can to try and scare him. Roar!
okay. So back to my initiative question though. Are we just rolling with what we did before, or do we gonna have roll off between the characters like we did?
yeah.
Yes.
wanna
and
roll
they're
off
rolling
again?
or-
You want to roll off again?
I just rolled. You roll.
Okay.
Okay, you beat me this time. Okay, so I'm last.
I rolled a 6.
Okay. Nolan.
I rolled a 4.
Okay. All right. So it is Alan Ashdown, Tancred, Avarian, and then Ape. And then the goblins in between Tancred and Avarian. Okay, so Alan Ashdown. Right after having defeated these rats whose warm bodies are still leaking into the ground, you are attacked by a handful of goblins.
Wow. I'm going to look at one of the goblins with a sword, and I'm going to sing to it. Do you really want to hurt me?
You really want to make me
Dude,
cry?
if you're going to be doing this, you need to be singing for realsies.
Oh, really?
Agreed.
Do you really want to hurt me? Okay.
Yes.
And that is actually my spell of my love song is Charm Person. It's the only spell I set up.
It's the only spell you took for the day was Charm Person. Okay. Follow the rules. What's it say?
Spell makes a humanoid creature regard the magic user as its trusted friend and ally. It has no effect on non-humanoid creatures or humanoids much larger than human size, nor does it affect the undead. The spell places the charmed person entirely under the influence of the caster. The victim is allowed to make repeated saving throws to throw off the charm at intervals determined by its intelligence. So if it has an intelligence of 3 to 6, it's every month. 7 to 9, it's every 3 weeks. 10 to 11, every 2 weeks. 12 to 15, every week. 16 to 17, every 2 days. And 18 and up, every day.
Yeah, it's a goblin.
I got me a pet.
If it stays alive. All right, which one are you charming?
One of them with this, one of those nice swords.
Okay. Okay. So
It's got flies on its back. Why don't you use that sword to swat
as
it out?
the three goblins with swords rush your party, you see one of them kind of slow down a little bit, and then he looks kind of confused around at his allies, and he stops short. He doesn't lower his weapon necessarily, but he's kind of just looking around dazedly and confused.
I scream, "Don't let them hurt me!"
And he goes, "Meep!" and then starts to kind of square off against his allies. And the bowmen look mildly confused as to what's happening. Tancred, it's your turn. You have two goblins rushing you guys.
During the confusion, I will run through the next closest one that's not charmed.
Okay.
15.
15. The goblin has an AC of 9.
I only needed a 10.
Indeed.
Okay. So
as the goblins rush, you connect with your blade in its shoulder. How much do you do to the...
do those do a d6 or a d8?
Everything does a d6, period.
That's what I thought. Okay. I do 1!
Woo! And so apparently it seems to have some leatherish armor on, and you turn your blade, but still manage to damage him in some ways. So going back to the slight discussion on the D6, that is a reflection of the old D&D and its history as an adaptation of a war game, which is kind of what D&D was taking the war game down to the single player as opposed to playing with a squad or an army or anything like that. And originally it was just a D6 because that's what everything was. And then with Advanced Dungeons and Dragons First Edition, they started making variable dice damage and a few other things. Professor Holmes, when he made this version, just kind of ran with that since he was trying to make an edible version of the original Dungeons and Dragons. However, Michael Thomas conveniently and quite gratefully put in some optional rules that people can throw in if they want to, when one of those is variable dice damage. I personally enjoy variable dice damage better than just standard dice damage, but we wanted to try and exemplify and play for you guys the standard version of the game. So everything is a D6, which makes it easier. You don't have to remember and search for dice. D6, flat out, damage all the time, period. Monsters, on the other hand, do different dice with their damage, so keep note of that. Okay, so you did your 1 point of damage. Now it is the goblin's turn. Since you have rushed them and you are in melee combat, Tancred, you will be attacked by 2 goblins and likely be missed. What was your AC again?
5.
5?
Yeah.
Okay, I apparently didn't write that down. We'll just go down through and Alan Ashdown, what was your AC?
Normal's 10, so it would be 8.
8. Okay. Avarian, what was your AC?
5.
5. Oh, that's right, you're a fighter. Or a cleric. Ape, what was your AC?
6.
6. Okay. Alright, so that is... They are rolling. They have 1. They rolled 9. And your armor turns the blade of the goblin, and he does not strike you. However, the other one will also attack, and you just move out of the way deftly as his blade misses. And then the 2 archer goblins will notice that their friend is not attacking and appears to be in an aggressive stance towards them, and they will attempt to shoot him with their arrows. Ooh, natural 20, and the first time. Now, in this system, there is no natural 20 rule that I've noticed, unless Michael Thomas wants to correct me on that one. So it isn't, an automatic success or double damage or anything like that. However, I always think it's fun to do that in any system that I do, period. So just because it's fun to, it's not something that comes up very often. So that's what we are still doing, a natural 1 and natural 20 do, big, bad, nasty things. So a natural 20, the goblin will take an arrow through his eye for double damage and drops him like a rock.
Oh.
So I know, right? I have one spell a day!
And it worked, too.
Enough. The other goblin, having noticed that the singing enchanter appeared to have done something to his friend, will shoot an arrow, and it will go quite wide since they don't have torches, and it's dark, even though they have dark vision and stuff. That's not going to be the case. Okay, it's your Alvarian's turn. Yeah.
6.
So that is 1 of 5.
I attack one of the 2 goblins that are with the swords.
Okay.
And I rolled a 6.
Okay. The goblins are quite aware of what's going on in the presence in the combat with Tancred, and the one sees you coming and deftly moves out of the way as you attempt to strike. And that makes it Abe's turn.
Okay. I'm going to make myself appear very frightening by screaming.
Okay. Okay, that's a little less than frightening.
You gotta make it more wolf-like.
Ooh. Okay.
All right, we're going to ignore that and pretend it didn't happen.
I mean, you made
Okay.
me sing. Come on.
It scared me.
All right. Well, I got my axe in one hand. I got a torch in the other. I'm going to find the nearest one. I'm just going to charge them down.
Okay.
Nat 1.
Woot! Okay. I want you to roll me another... roll me another 20-sided die.
A 4.
Okay, you trip and fall. Luckily, you don't impale yourself on your halberd, but you do fall.
I thought I was holding the halberd.
He was
Well, then what were you attacking with just now?
my hand axe.
Oh, that's right, hand axe, you said. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, well, you trip and fall into the underbrush, and you take 1 point of damage from all the thorny sticks and things as you fall on the ground. However, your impact also makes you lose your axe. Not forever, but you drop it. So now you are prone, and your axe is out of your hand. Like I said, at least it's... Yeah. Once again, at least it's not Middle-earth role-playing, and you didn't trip on a Tortuga and, compound fracture your arms, because that's entirely possible in that system.
Yeah.
Literally, you can trip on like a turtle or a rock and something and break your spine, like as a critical failure. It's got all of these tables. A lot of the older games have crap loads of tables to roll on, and as irritating as it is sometimes, the critical failure tables in Middle-earth role-playing are just freaking hysterical. Yeah, I mean, it's seriously bad. Like, you can, like I said, fracture your spine and die and stuff. Like, compound fractures and stuff. Like, it gets pretty in depth, and you're just like, dang. Like, some of these are really not good. It's really, really quite awful.
We remember that because we remember the ravine, and the ravine almost killed us. That first event we ran a couple years back.
Yeah, well, that was the Lord of the Rings role-playing game, and not the old version of the Middle-earth role-playing. But yes. That one was also very bad. That was a very bad experience for you guys. Okay. So that makes it back to the top with Alan Ashdown's turn.
All right, I'm going to swing with this halberd.
No.
And I swing a 14. I'm swinging at one of the sword ones.
Okay, so you move up, and they are distracted now with 2 enemies, and you said you got a 14. So that is first level 14. Lets you hit AC 5, and their AC is 9, so you should hit. Yep.
And I rolled a
You rolled
6.
Ooh. Okay. You cleave the goblin's head from its place, and it goes rolling through the forest, and the body drops. And the other 3 goblins are starting to look a little panicky now that they're outnumbered. And one of them will not do anything because it's not their turn. Tancred.
All right. I will. Was the one that I attacked dead? Does he live?
He lives still.
Then I attack him.
Okay.
11.
Okay. You just barely hit him.
Just barely. 6.
Nice. Okay, you have eliminated said goblin as you attempt to attack him in the same place to redeem yourself from your first failure, and you do enough damage to his shoulder that it cuts into his body and he falls down.
Yes.
Now there are but 2. And the last 2 goblins are starting to panic now at this point. You can see them. And you see them pick up a horn and blow it in the middle of this forest.
Oh.
That's not good.
Yes, more XP.
And they will begin to retreat.
I think we should pull back, guys.
It is Avarian's turn.
Are they still in range?
If you have ranged weapons, yes.
Nope.
What was our other magic user
Or
doing?
you want to
this
chase
time?
them. He
He was hiding.
Yes. If I recall, he was rather squishy anyway, so he's kind of... He didn't have a useful spell prepared.
But he already... Yeah, he used light spell last time.
Well, I said you guys started from ground zero, so...
Okay. So whose turn is it?
Should be mine.
No, it's mine, but what can I do if they're retreating and I can't reach them?
You can run after them to see if you can.
I think that's a terrible idea.
I think that's an excellent idea.
I think we should pull back after they blew that horn.
You were perfectly within your reason to do so. Do you have a destination in which you are going to pull back to, or are you just pulling back?
Just pulling back. Probably just back along the trail that we've already carved.
Okay. Is the rest of the party in agreement?
I'm going to first take any weapons or stuff that these goblins may have.
Sure. Their armor is useless, as you guys have.
Yeah.
You would have to take it off of them, and if you're in a rush, that's going to take time, and then, if you've damaged it in other ways. Weapon table is over in the front.
Well, they can run. I gotta get my axe back, so I check the brush.
Okay. You killed only the fighting goblins, the shooty ones, or the ones that retreated. So you will find 3 short swords and 2 javelins.
Ooh. I mean, they all do D6 anyway, so.
Yes, but a javelin is ranged, so you actually
Yeah.
can throw something.
I had a sling already.
Yeah. Okay, so you pick up their weapons and split.
See, now I can help cut path in the forest with the sword.
Okay, you're going back along the path that you guys carved. Okay, so you retreat back along the path, and are you running or are you walking? What speed are you guys going?
Speed walking.
Jogging.
How fast can they really go in this one?
Not super fast, but and we'll obviously get you there faster. Speed walking. That was one of Bill Nye's best parts. Was the speed walker. I don't know if anybody really knows that though. That's a Pacific Northwest reference. Almost live. Look it up. Good stuff.
Almost live. My goodness.
I know, right? I was talking to somebody else about that show the other day. I was like, frick, man, I almost forgot about that. And Bill Nye is the speed walker. It's hilarious. Okay, so what speed are we going?
Jogging.
Okay, no, not periodically. I would like everybody to make me a D20 roll.
Oh boy, 7.
14.
6.
3.
Wow, okay. So Alan Ashdown is the only one who manages to stay on his feet, as the rest of you get bogged down by the underbrush and trip and fall. So Alan, you're a number of yards ahead of your friends before you notice that they have not followed you. And
I stopped because I'm super squishy and I don't want to be left alone.
yeah. And the rest of you start to hear a chittering coming from the trees around you and a couple down on the ground.
See, this is why we need to chop the trees down.
And we'll say Alan Ashdown will have last initiative. And do you, Ape and Avarian, want to roll off again, or?
Yes.
Okay.
3. Roll again.
6.
He won.
Okay. He won, so that's 10, that's 9, that's 8. Okay. So the rest of you, as you are prone, will notice a number of large spiders crawling towards you.
This forest is the worst.
It is called the
This is a
Darkwood.
terrible day.
And you guys are walking rather deeply within it. And, the goblins did call, which, by the way, you will also see that as one of them approaches you closer, a goblin with a bow and arrow is sitting atop one of the spiders.
Oh, you jerk.
He would do that.
Okay. Tancred.
Right. How many spiders are there?
There are 4 that you can tell so far.
How far away are they from me?
Far enough that if you didn't have ranged weapons, you would need to figure something out.
All right. I will parry.
You'll parry?
Yes.
Okay.
Take a defensive stance.
Okay, so you stand up and
Yes.
take a defensive stance. Did you have a shield?
Yes.
Okay. All right. That brings it to Ape.
All right. Well, first I'm gonna stand up.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna take my axe and my torch. And where's the nearest one?
It's still some distance away from you. You would have to run, and even then you may not make it.
All right. I'm gonna stand defensive.
Just defensive, you're not going to parry?
Why don't you shoot at it? You have a bow.
I guess I could. All right.
See, this is why it's good to have your wife with you in the game.
I know. It's super late too. I can't think straight. All right. Okay. I guess I'll shoot at it, following Avarian's suggestion.
Yeah. Somebody suggested that I could have used bully against you instead of giant spiders. That would have been fun. Maybe I'll do that soon. I don't know.
And sharks. All right. I'm gonna attack it with my bow. What is with me and these balls?
Dude, you need new dice.
I do. I like the colors of this one though.
Dice jail, dude. Dice jail. They need a timeout.
This one does because this rolls a 5.
Maybe you should do the water test and see if it actually rolls evenly.
I'm not sure this one does because this one habitually does not roll above a 10.
Well, that's just standard fare for our games anyway. We seem to roll just low all the time, period.
Doesn't
Even
matter
like
if it's a computer or a dice.
I know, right? Even like our randomly generated computer numbers are still like massively low all the time. All right, so what were you doing? Were you shooting it with a bow? Yeah.
Yep.
What did you roll again?
I rolled a 5.
5. Okay, yeah, that's not gonna hit it. All right, so it is dark. It is the dark wood, so the darkness has obscured your vision enough that it made the target hard to hit, and it bounces off the spider's carapace. Okay, that is their turn to go, and one of these spiders will actually. The spiders will approach every one of you. Tancred will have 2 spiders because Alan Ashdown is still too far away and is attacking the nearest one first. And you will notice as they get closer that the other spiders, one of the other spiders has the other goblin archer on it as well. So there are 4 giant or large spiders, not giant, and 2 goblin archers still. Oh, yeah. Intentional roll. That was an accident and a natural 20, so let's not go with that one.
Good idea.
Yeah, I figured you'd appreciate that one.
I do.
Okay, so they are spiders large. They are hit dice 2. And you said your AC was 5. 5. Ooh, and it just barely misses. Your parry attack actually...
Did something?
Yes.
Hooray!
Yes. Okay. Sorry, I was reading the rules on parry. I thought for a second that it might have actually shattered your sword, but nope. Because in this, if you parry, it gives you a -2 penalty on the attacker's roll to hit. The parrying character loses all attacks that round, and if the attack roll exactly equals the number needed to hit, the weapon used to parry will break, and damage is dealt as normal, which sucks, because now you've taken damage and you're weaponless. Ouch. But that is not the case. So you parried the Chelicera as they come in to try and bite you, gobble you up. And that is that one's turn, and the second one will just miss entirely. And that is on Ape, the other one. 15, your AC is 6. AC 6. However, Ape will be bitten by a giant spider. And you begin to feel your muscles relax as a surging poison rushes into your body, and you take 2 hit points of damage and are paralyzed. Ape.
I'm going to weep.
And his paralyzed. Okay. That makes it... no, Avarian still needs to get attacked, doesn't she? She does. Or that. And I believe that will actually hit too. No, wait, you get a save. Save versus poison.
I do?
You do. You get a save.
All right. Is that a D20?
Yes, it is. And you're a fighter, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so you need to get a 12 or above. Saves are important.
14. That's more like it.
Ooh, okay, so you are not paralyzed, but you do still take the damage.
2 damage, right?
Yes, but you do feel, the effects of the poison start to begin, relaxing your muscles, and you shake it off, and you're able to gather yourself back up to continue to the attack. Avarian also got attacked. You also get to make a save.
Great. Okay.
As a poisoned fang slices across your skin, and you take 1 point of damage, but you feel the burning of the poison.
I rolled a 6. I think I've rolled only 6s this whole game.
Yeah, there's been a lot of them. However, you are unable to fight off the effects of the paralytic poison that relaxes your muscles, and you fall limp on the ground. Ironic that the healer is the one that gets paralyzed.
Great.
No, with our group, that's actually normal.
Yeah, it's pretty normal. We're full of vast amounts of dramatic irony.
Okay, at least yell out "bear, save me" before I.
Oh, yeah, you got the bear. It is Abe's turn. No, it's not. It is your turn now. So if you want to have your bear come and attack, you can do so.
Bumble, save me.
As you're drilling outside your mouth. Let's make it a normal attack roll.
Do I roll that or?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait. 4.
4?
4.
Okay. Bumble, save me! And it just totally misses. Yeah, okay, Alan Ashdown, it is your turn. You see your friends in a bad way.
Yeah, how far away am I?
You were going to have to move, but you could attack some of them.
Yeah, I'm just saying, am I... What's the distance? I want to know if I should use a distance weapon or not.
If you like I said, you'd have to move and attack if you could, but you could do it either way. You could either use your ranged, because you're not that far away, but you would have to move.
Okay. I was just wondering because I have, my sling that can long distance attacks 121 to 180. That's what I was wondering.
So you're going to have to navigate your difficult terrain to get back.
Okay.
And if you're
I'm gonna start navigating my way back to my teammates. I'm too far away to do much to help, and it's too dark. I can't see them.
Okay, so you join in the fray and you see what is happening, and that brings it back to Tancred's turn.
Tancred's turn. Have they moved closer?
They have moved closer indeed.
Can I attack
because
them?
they're attacking you.
Good. Okay. 17.
Oh, I forgot to have the goblins go. 17 will definitely hit. Are you attacking? Let's see. You have 2 of them on you. One of them is
That's true. That's true. Yes, I had 2 of them. I attack one of them.
Yes, one of them has a goblin archer on it, and the other one does not.
I attack the one. I attack the goblin on the spider.
Okay.
For 1.
For 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. They only have an HD of D6, dude. You only need to get average. Average, Nolan. Average.
I struggle to average. We know this.
I know. We're not even average, guys. How awesome is that? All right. Like, our statistical curve is, like, the worst in existence. Okay.
Not good.
No, it's not good. Okay. That makes it Abe's turn.
All right.
I feel happy, guys. I keep forgetting that the goblins exist.
All right. So, are there any right next to me, or are they still at a distance? I guess there's the one that bit me.
Yes. I mean, you guys are all relatively. You all kind of fell at the same time, so Ape, Avari, and Tancred all relatively close together, and you guys are being attacked by 4 giant spiders. So you're all kind of within melee range of each other.
Okay. I'm going to attack that spider.
Okay.
He bit me. Now I'm going to kill him.
Did bite.
Oh.
It's a 9.
It's a 9.
Yeah.
Okay, a 9 will miss.
Nuts.
As your axe is turned off of its carapace, it is deflected. Oh, that's curling really bad. Is it really that humid in here that you're curling? That's right, I have a photo background sitting here. Testing it out today. It's curling up really bad, though. Alright. It is their turn, because it's the 2 of you. So the Goblin Archers will attempt to shoot Alan Ashdown as he comes into the fray, and they both miss. Their arrows go wide. The spiders, yeah, I know, right? The spiders will attack, and that is a miss on Ape. And 2 misses on Ape. And Tancred, who was also getting attacked, he manages to deflect the blow of one of the spiders.
Yeah.
But accidentally puts himself in harm's way from the other spider.
No.
You dodge and manage to get caught by a fang for 3 damage, and then you need to make me a poison save.
Okay. Ray or poison? No, 3.
Yeah, no, you are also paralyzed and fall to the ground.
Oh, man.
Okay, and it is not Avarian's turn because she is paralyzed. It is Alan Ashdown's turn.
Bear.
Oh, Bear, right.
Okay, 19.
Ooh, that will's hit. So Bumble reaches out with his mouth.
6 damage.
6 damage.
Finally.
I know, right? Finally, somebody does something. So the bear will get one of the large spiders between its teeth and crunch down, and you hear the sickening crack of the carapaces. Ooze, insides begins to ooze out, but the spider is still standing
Wow.
and able to move.
Delicious.
Yes. Okay. Now it's Alan Ashdown's turn.
All right, I'm close enough. They're trying to attack me, and they can shoot their arrows at me, so I'm going to go ahead and throw one of the javelins at them.
Okay.
At the goblin on the spider.
Okay.
16.
You will hit the goblin on the spider.
4.
And you will pin him against a tree with your javelin. And it's... As it stops and ceases
All
to
right,
struggle.
then I'm going to sort of hide in the underbrush near me.
Yeah, oh crap. Okay. And then normally it would be Tancred's turn, since we're back at the top. And as you lay there paralyzed and see your friends fall around you, you'll see another series of arrows come out of the brush, but strike the spiders.
Yay!
The spiders
Save our
drop.
stupid butts.
And you will see a series of tall, thin figures with long, flowing hair step out of the woods.
Pretty.
And they will be speaking in a
The
foreign
Navi.
tongue. What?
The Navi.
Yeah, no, not quite. They will start speaking in a foreign tongue. Does anybody have any languages?
My intelligence is 10. I just know common. Nobody else?
I am but a simple cleric. I know nothing.
Does anyone remember what our other magic user's intelligence was? I thought his was up there.
He appears to be missing.
Uh-oh. He hid. He took off.
Screw you guys, I'm out. He's the smart one. That's why he left.
Yeah.
Yeah. So does nobody else have any languages?
Nope.
No.
All right, cool. This makes it more fun for me. Okay. So how do you guys going to interact with the situation? You have two paralyzed individuals on the ground. There are two of you who are up and conscious, and you are surrounded now by a bunch of figures which appear to shine with an inner light, not bright enough to light up the forest, but enough to be noticed, which is interesting considering you didn't see them, and you are not sure what they are, because you have never seen these beings before. They are acting hostile towards you, but they haven't shot at you yet.
I'm gonna bow to them gracefully, like thanking them. Like, we're not worthy. We're not worthy.
You're gonna start worshiping them like all 3PO style.
Well, pretty close. I'm trying to play up on my charisma though.
What do they smell like?
What do they smell like? They smell pleasant. As is they wash in rose water on a regular basis.
Wow.
Not fancy. And as you are you like legitimately getting down and praising them all like bop bop bloop bop style, or
What I'm doing is I'm down on my hands and knees and on my knees and my hands are down before me like this, so I'm submissive.
Okay. They kind of, you hear them chuckle a little bit as you start doing that, but they will pick up your two paralyzed companions and still put them in restraints, and they will treat you lightly and kindly, but they still kind of push and prod you into a particular direction. Ape, how do you react to seeing this?
I cautiously approach these strangers and start sniffing.
They don't look disgusted necessarily. They are very wary of your presence and keep their weapons out, and one of them will swat at you a little bit to try and brush you away from him. Or her. I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell if it's a him or her. And they kind of point you in the direction that Alan Ashdown is heading, and that the other two are being carried. Which seems to be in the same direction that you guys remember having seen the crackling energy.
Wow.
I'm gonna lay here.
No, you were being carried.
I'll lay there then.
Yeah.
Is Bumbles following?
They have, yes.
He's
Sort
very
of.
loyal.
No, they've darted the bear, and it's unconscious. And they have put it on what is it called? Can't think of the word.
Stretcher.
Essentially, but there's a specific word that I'm looking for. Anyway, but yes, they are carrying it behind them, dragging it through the wood on something.
Sled thing?
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it. It's got a
A
specific.
sledge?
No. Can't think of it. That's going to drive me nuts. I'm going to have to look it up later. Anyway, unless somebody in the chat knows what the heck I'm talking about. I can't think of the stupid name. I hate it when I forget that. I hate forgetting vocabulary words. It drives me nuts. Anyway, so you are all being led or carried into this deeper into the wood itself. As you guys walk through the trees, you see they actually begin to appear greener as you get deeper into the inside. The trees become a little more healthy looking. They spurt out a little bit more, and it appears to be lighter. Sorry, somebody in the chat also suggested a stretcher. No, that's not. There's a specific thing that I'm thinking of, and I can't think of the name for it. Not technically a stretcher, it's something else. It's similar, but different.
What's that word that's spelled B-I-E-R? How do you pronounce that?
Buyer?
Yeah, buyer or beer or whatever.
Right. I don't know, maybe. I'll have to look it up later. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Anyway, like I said, I can't remember it exactly. I'm going to have to look it up. That's what I was thinking also, but I'm not sure if it's the right word. No, it's been a while since I've had to look it up or encountered it, so. Where was I going? Deeper into the wood. Trees thinning out. Right. And it actually begins to look brighter and greener and happier as you walk along.
I'm gonna pull out my pan flute and sort of play a happy tune as we're getting into this brighter, cheerful area.
Okay, as you reach into your clothes to try and pull out your pan flute, the beings to either side of you react in a very hostile way.
Okay. I show them what it is. I show them it's not a weapon, it's okay, and I blow gently into it.
Okay, they look amused and will allow you to continue to play your music. And they will lead you into the heart of an encampment. There are structures that are made of the trees themselves. They're not up in the trees, but it seems like the trees have been encouraged to grow in a particular way to form buildings. Not tall ones, not very extravagant ones, but enough to house a small village of beings. There's a couple hundred that you can see walking through what you assume to be a village. And they lead you into the center of this area. And there's a gathering of people who seem to be having a discussion in the same language that the first group showed up to speak to you in. Doesn't make any sense. Sorry, I was staring at my dice there. Let me see. The one, well, I was just noticing this. See how it's the one is a straight line, one is a straight line. Not. Why do that? Why not keep them all in the same font? I don't understand. Anyway, these are the things that distract me when I'm playing games. Because, like, even the 20, almost every one of these dice is like that, except for the 4, which is that. And it's got that little cap on top. And then on the 12-sider, it's... And those are the only ones. I don't understand. Anyway. I know, right? I'm like freaking ADD over here. Ooh, shiny! Okay. Hold on, man. I've got some serious coughing going on. Ooh. All right. Okay, so you're in the center of this town, and these guardians or whatever it is that have taken you bring you into the center of this debate and kind of dump you off and then walk off into the crowd. And you begin to hear people still arguing and shouting about something or other, and a few people begin to point at you and bring you into this discussion for whatever it is that they're talking about.
I'm going to gently, I don't want to scare them, I just want to, does anyone speak common? Does anyone understand us?
You'll get some people kind of looking around in confusion one towards another, and then one person will run off in the distance. And then they
shave me. I know it.
shave you. And they begin to try to communicate with you some more. Or they're not really talking towards you so much as about you, and you can pretty much tell that that's what they're doing.
Well, I'm going to try and, since I have an audience, I'm going to, try to entertain them however I can.
Okay.
Because I'm a performer. I'm going to perform.
Right. It is funny. The picture I see is like this giant town meeting where everybody's like arguing about something, and all of a sudden you're just like...
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. All right. So they're still having their argument, and they just kind of like look at you like you're insane, as you're playing this flute. What is everybody else doing? The effects of the poison seem to be wearing off a little bit. You guys are, your muscles are still kind of wobbly, but you're beginning to feel more right.
I'm gonna doodle a picture in the dirt of people lying down, bleeding out of their face.
That is gonna scare them so bad.
How do you even draw a picture like that? I'm just gonna doodle people bleeding out of orifices.
I don't know. How else am I supposed to explain to them that we're in here looking for medicine?
Draw the picture of the plant.
Okay, I'll draw a picture of the plant.
It's okay. So you've got these two images of this raging, weeping fever, and then this plant. People will kind of point at the plant and ignore the other picture. They appear to recognize what it is you're talking about, and you begin to hear some more heated debate amongst the individuals within this village.
Well, we can't really leave. We can't do anything but sit here.
Oh no, they seem to have understood what Avarian was talking about in some respects.
I'm gonna sort of gesture to the way the person that ran off and ask if we can go that way.
You'll have somebody turn and speak to you instead of just about you, and they say, "Milach, Milach."
You want me to stop?
Stay?
And it's kind of, "Milach, koreis, da geitsnest."
I think he wants us to stay here. The person's going to come to us.
Okay.
And I'm going to gesture, eat food.
Duran, Duran. And he'll kind of snap his fingers at some people, and they'll bring some food.
Sweet.
It's very light fare, but you can have a meal because you guys haven't eaten in since the morning, and it's been a number of hours. It's late in the afternoon at this point.
Other than Abe. Abe's had a rat.
Yeah. You still got the blood stain all over his maul, and his paws are just full of gore. They're just kind of like people shy away from him as they're walking around him. And eventually, after a number of hours, a very old-looking individual will be escorted by the person who ran off, and they'll come and start speaking. Come in, I know.
Oh, good. Where are we?
In village of Fey folk.
Are we in trouble?
No, trouble is not. You, no trouble.
We came into the woods looking for medicine.
Medicine?
We're looking for this plant.
Plant? Yes, plant.
Spiky
Leaves.
plant. Spiky plant.
Yes, we know. Wrong river. They grow along Long River.
Do you know where?
Yes, we can.
Long River?
Long River that way. We have guides. They can show you.
That would be very helpful.
Yes, you favor for us. We save you, you do for us.
I guess that's fair. Not in any position to say no anyway.
Right. They saved us already.
Strangers in wood, anger, forest.
They're not talking about us, are they?
Might be the hunters.
Not you, no. They come long ago. They small, fierce, foul, bring giant spiders.
Oh, the goblins.
The little people?
They smell foul creatures, stink badly.
Yep,
Not like
goblins.
Dogman. Though he need Bath River, you need go soak.
Yes, I agree.
I bathe with my tongue.
We will push him in the river when we find the plant eventually.
Thank you, much grateful. Our people smell good, he does not.
Do you know how many of the goblins have come into your wood?
We know not.
Do you know
We-
where their home is?
We see home near Long River, near where herb grow.
That's
Awesome.
convenient.
It would
Point us
help.
in the right direction, and then I'll kill them.
Said, yes, we sent guide with you to go collect. You bring back evidence. You bring back.
Okay. Can we
Sounds
rest
fair.
here before we go?
What was that?
Can we rest here before we go?
Yes, rest. You may rest. You may eat. And then before day is over, we will send guide with you. He is not back. He can speak common.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay, we have deal. And the elder will kind of walk off and begin talking in the tongue of the people to kind of tell them what's going on. And you hear a mild cheer. People will start coming along and shaking your hands and patting you on the back.
We're going on a suicide mission. Yay!
They'll not really have a feast, but they'll definitely offer you some more food. And the elder will discuss some more of what's been happening with you. So he says, several moons ago, so it's been a couple of months, that they noticed the wood was reacting in an odd way. Just the trees seem to be a bit angrier than usual. More of the warriors have gotten lost in the forest than what's normal, and just things have gone generally south. They're not quite sure what happened, and then eventually they started seeing the goblins, and they remember seeing one large goblin, only one. He was spotted once in the woods with a retinue of smaller goblins as a seemingly a bodyguard. He seemed to be looking for something, was the reports of their scouts. But many of their bravest warriors are off fighting to try and reclaim their land. And a smaller group of goblins has been getting closer and closer to their home, and they have no way of contacting these other warriors because they have been boxed in. So they can't get word out to the real forces to come and help.
Can I mention all the weird stuff that's been happening in our village too to them?
Sure, what do you want to mention?
Like the strange disease that's come up, and what else was happening?
The stone.
The rock singing.
You could
at
hear
me.
the music from the stone, which I still think you're being crazy.
That's because she's a woman.
Wow, dude! Don't say crap like that. Now it's on the internet.
But that's what I said last session. Gotta keep in
I
character.
promise we're not sexist. I'm not
At 11.
sexist.
I'm not either.
See, this is why it's great that I put that caveat on the bottom. Personal views do not reflect what the company views. So, if you're gonna stone people, blackball him, not me. Okay. Totally derailed myself. Okay. So you mention the disease in the fairy stone. At the mention of the cairn making noise, the elder seems particularly interested. And they says, Minnie tells you a story. I'm not even going to try to sum them up. Tells you a story about a long time ago. This area used to be populated largely by the fairy folk, and they would they had lots of these stones standing around, giant stone circles, not just a single cairn sticking up in the air. And that particular site was one that was widely known as the stones of a particular family, that they had lived in that land for generations upon generations before the coming of mankind, but that they died out of an unknown reason, and that the last members of that house left eons ago. So they're not quite sure why it's making the noise it is, or whatever other reason is going on. They have no idea what's happening, but they kind of tell you the little bit of history that's going on there.
Okay.
Okay, and it's about early evening when the one scout comes back, and I don't have a list of names with me at the moment, so we will just make one up off the top of my head. His name will be Niskel, and he introduces himself.
Greetings.
Greetings, I am Niskel.
He's gonna push me in the river, I know it.
I am a Varian. The dog over there, his name is Ape.
I'm Alan.
Grrr.
I have not seen a dogman for many, many centuries.
Many centuries. How old are you?
We Fey folk don't keep track of time as far as man is concerned. But we know that we are quite older. Says, well met. Please let us go. We have much to do.
As long as
Okay.
there's stuff to eat.
I really am going to push you.
Not
over.
a hunting trip.
Don't worry,
I
his standard
suppose you've
best.
seen our hunters in these woods.
Says, yes, we have seen them often. We are quite well acquainted.
Do you think they could help us out?
Well, we have not seen them lately, now that you talk about it. The last time I talked to your hunter, it was, how do you say, 2 weeks, I believe, ago.
That's probably why their campsite was empty.
I hope nothing bad's happened to them.
Oh, well, the lives of men are fleeting. It seems that I rest for merely a season, and you are out of your lives. Now come, let us go. That we might preserve ours a bit longer.
I thought we were gonna sleep and get a rest, so I can recharge my spell.
Your spell.
I love how that's singular.
I know.
Level 1, gotta love it.
You can memorize other spells.
That's what I was going to do.
He looks fairly reluctant to this, but he says, "Very well. We will rest for your time to be able to prepare yourselves for whichever battles we may get into."
Do I get my 1 HP back? Not long enough.
It should be alright. Hang on.
I looked over that. I don't remember what it said.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are in a safe place, which you are, not usually found underground. Full rest and recuperation restores 1 HP per level per day.
Well, that's fine, because that's all I lost.
So everybody gains back 1 hit point.
Hooray!
Yay.
However, you do have a cleric who has spells that can be used. So if she wants to heal somebody before, do you have access to a spell?
I don't think I do at level 1.
Thought you did.
Clerics gain their divine spells through prayer, but at first level they cannot cast any yet.
Oh, well then there you go. What's the other one I was thinking of then?
Well,
I think I can do turn undead.
What's this one?
Yeah.
It's also good. Okay. So no, that's right. This is the one that I was thinking of. Right. Yeah, I remember that now. When I was reading it, I was like, huh, well, that's a bummer. so no healing. Woo! All right. Okay, so let's say they have some healers that will come and tend to your wounds. So who is damaged? Who else is damaged?
I took
Sam
3
is-
to roll.
You took what?
3. I took 3.
All right. They will do their job as best they can, but only are able to heal you for 2 points of damage.
I'll take
See,
it.
that's not so bad. You guys can get that damaged. Okay. So you rest well in the night. The town doesn't have any adverse things, although there just still seem to be a debate raging by the time you guys get up. And you head off with Niskel Farwind into the Dark Wood. Once again, you guys get to portions that are not guarded by the Fey folk, and the darkness begins to close in on you once more. He will take you along secret paths that only his people know, and it's winding and confusing, but you will come across safely to a camp that is filled with little small creatures. There are 8 goblins that you guys can count walking around. There's a number of small huts. Go with that one. No, let's go with that one instead. Oh, there's a D. Okay. There are 7 small huts that you can count. And in a pen, this big iron-looking pen with a bunch of webs stuck in it, you can see 3 large spiders encased in there. So you're not sure if there are any more goblins within the structures. You don't see the large one of which was previously spoken, but you do notice, like I said, those 8 goblins that are walking around. There are 2 up in a watchtower along the border, and you see a number of them outside the walls. There are 3 outside the walls, which leaves 5 in the camp that you can see, 2 in that upper tower. 2 in tower, 3 outside the walls, 3 outside walls, which leaves 3 inside the camp itself, doing various things, chores, cooking, and whatnot. And then the 3 large spiders. What do you guys decide you want to do?
Charge!
Do you think we could safely set things on fire without setting the forest on fire?
I don't know.
Because Ape does have some flasks of oil, and we do have torches.
Yes, I do. I came prepared.
Their huts, do they have doors on them?
They have entrances, not necessarily doors, but there is something to cover them. Like leather straps and
Soiled linens.
soiled linens. You find a pile of dirty rags.
Yay!
Oh.
Every roll in D&D.
I know.
First edition.
I know, right? I miss the dirty rags, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, so we are in this goblin encampment. What's the plan? Nisco Farwind looks at you, as you mentioned, setting things on fire, fairly skeptically at first, but isn't necessarily adverse to the plan. He doesn't say anything, but he's just kind of like, setting the forest on fire. May not necessarily be the best course of action, but he doesn't say don't do it.
Well, after what happened to us last time we fought the spiders, running in there head first is a terrible idea.
Well, maybe we can come up with a way to set one of these flasks of flaming oil.
Pin on fire.
And yeah, if we take the spiders out, then we're in good shape.
Maybe.
That is true.
The other thing we can do is use some of my rope and lasso a few of these at a time off the side and just drag them off.
Are you a cowboy? I didn't know that was a class. I would have played a cowboy.
Cowpoke.
Like,
Uh-oh.
howdy, varmint! You know, like,
I'll get her.
Well, they are vermin.
they are.
All right, so what's the plan? What's going on?
I like the oil plan because those spiders are what was taking us out last time. The goblins weren't too much of a threat.
Oh, I have 5 flasks of oil. I have 5 torches remaining. I do have a 50-foot rope, and I do have a 10-foot pole.
Characters use a flask of oil as a missile weapon with a range equivalent to thrown dagger or hand axe. So we have to get within. I'm trying to get back to the throwing distance that we have for our weapon attacks. Are you able to throw it that far?
No.
Because that'd be long distance would be a -1 penalty with 21 to 30 feet.
You are further away than that.
Okay, so we have to sneak in there.
Yeah, you were several hundred feet away. So if you guys have bows and things, which Niskel does, Niskel Farwind, he might be able to shoot a flaming arrow if that is the plan. Somewhere specific.
That's my plan.
Well, I got a bow too, so we could do that.
Yeah, let's not have the guy with thousands of years experience do it.
That's right. Why give him all the glory?
Wow.
Well,
Duly noted, but we saw how well that worked in Two Towers, right?
yeah.
Peter Jackson showed us how well at least hundreds of years worth of archery experience, defended Helm's Deep so well. Yes, I am actually quite bitter about that. So let's not get into that.
Who isn't?
Some people are actually okay with it. I'm not. We did the statistics, but I actually did the math on it once, and having just that many elves there actually would have totally won the Helm's Deep without an issue. Anyway. Yeah, that's how angry I was. I was like, what the crap? So I actually did the math. And I used the Battle of Agincourt and other things as a reference to do that. Which, by the way, were amazing odds. Why? Because they had a crap load of archers against thousands of mounted knights and other people in armor, and the English won 10,000 to 1 or something. It was crazy. Crazy. Anyway. Moving on. Irritation, brush it off. All right, so what's the plan then? What are we doing?
All right. While they're trying to decide, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to use my one spell.
Yeah. Okay. What was your spell?
The spell I chose was ventriloquism.
Ventriloquism. Dude, you've got magic missile and stuff, and you choose ventriloquism.
I am a performer. I'm an entertainer. I have certain spells that I pick.
Duly noted.
So I call this parody, but because I have to keep them all musical centered. But I'm going to go ahead and throw my voice, or actually make a sound of someone's voice, inside their huts, I'm going to make it sound like I'm inside one of the huts where there's nobody in there.
Okay.
Muffled screaming, muffled whatever, but they're just going to sound like we're over there.
How exactly? Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how I want to ask this question. So muffled screaming, and that's it. You don't want to say anything in particular. Just
No. I'm going to be like, no, you do this. No. And so I'm going to make it sound like we're making plans, like we're doing right now over here, but I'm going to make it louder, but in the hut.
Okay. Is there a range on that?
I'm going to it now.
Thoughts, web, old person. Thoughts.
And one more page. Come on. It's a level 1 spell. Ventriloquism. Caster makes the voice seem to issue range of 60 feet, so it's going to be one of the closer huts from us.
You are going to need to get closer then.
Okay. So I'm
Listen,
going to try.
you're within. You know, it's a long shot for a bow, like so.
Yeah, but we have the hunter guy, and he has lots of experience.
Yes, he has a longbow, so he's able to shoot. You know, what is that? 210 feet away.
Okay.
But you guys are making your plan and spying what's happening.
All right,
several
so
hundred feet away. So,
how is the cover as we get closer?
the cover has thinned out. They've cut down large swaths of the forest, kind of around where they are, so they can have a visual of approaching enemies. Which seems to be rather smart for goblins. But they have done that, and there's a watchtower, and the 3 goblins that were outside the palisades that they have created are continuing to chop down trees and to kind of clear out the underbrush as you guys observe what they're doing, which is the only reason why you're able to see what they're doing, because there's some light coming in. But it's still, it's still pretty dark because goblins don't like the light. But there's enough going on there that you can see what's happening. You don't need a torch.
How about we try this, guys? How about we I want to disable the spiders.
Right.
So how about we throw one of the oil vials I have, and then we can have the hunter guy ignite it.
Can you throw 200 feet?
Should be strong enough to.
No.
It's a long way, dude. Even the best quarterbacks in the world can't. Well.
Yeah. How many feet?
Your longest throw can be 50 feet for a flask or vial.
All right. So I basically show my face, throw it, and then duck back into the tree line.
Show your face, throw it. Or, no, I'm not a part of the planning process. Is that what you want to do?
Unless the rest of the party disagrees.
It's as good a plan as any.
Well, I did say that,
and then hunter guy's gonna light it.
that there's a large swath of open area around the encampment so that they can see what's approaching them.
So run really fast.
Really fast.
How wide is the open area before I get to the edge of the village?
It's about let's do this. It's about 80 feet or so. It's kind of sporadic. Some of it's wider, some of it's smaller, but even the shorter section is still about 80 feet out. So, I mean, they're actively clearing the area.
Our fighter / paladin, he has his goat, right?
Yes, I brought him into the woods with us.
Would you like your goat to be sacrificial?
Are we gonna summon a demon? I'm kind of against that sort of thing.
Well, you're not a paladin right now, you're a fighter, right?
I suppose that's true.
Well, the class, his character is still a
It's
holy
still good.
knight.
Yeah.
Yes. What we're doing is we're trying to make the system reflect what the characters we have made are. So I know the paladin sacrificing a goat. How awesome is that?
Yeah, that would not work. I'm just trying to think of how we could lure the goblins out here, because they're looking for something to cross this path. Do I have anything?
How about we do this? Set up your little ventriloquism thing to get them to check the hut. And then maybe we can figure out a way to lure them away from the village.
Well, I was going to try and trap them all in the hut and just set the hut on fire.
Oh, okay.
But we have to get there first.
So, how many goblins are there?
It's like
7.
8.
There are 8 total that you can see.
That's not so bad on its own.
But there's still the spiders.
I know.
That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah. We got to take the spiders out.
This is just taking way too long.
Yeah, let's just charge in there. Let's do it.
Well, no, lure the goblins to one end, separate them from the spiders, because the spiders are in their cage, right?
Right.
So all we'd have to do is lure the goblins away, and then
Set the cage on fire.
half of our party can go over to the
Niskel.
spider cage and
Niskel.
then dump the oil and light it while everybody else is keeping the goblins distracted.
Can we have Niskel go over and light the spider cage on fire while we are taking care of the goblins?
You can have him do whatever you ask.
Well, I'm asking the rest of my party, my comrades. What do you think of that?
Probably. He's probably the most stealthy of all of us.
Niskel, would you be able to sneak over to the spider cage while we take care of the goblins?
I could certainly try.
Think that's a plan, guys?
I think we can.
Let's do it.
Okay,
All right. Well,
let's do it.
we need a sacrificial lamb, and I'm the entertainer and the performer. I am going to pick up my pan flute and play a happy medley, trying to get a loud happy medley, sitting there by the shrubs in the bushes outside of the campsite, outside their
Okay.
goblin village. All the rest of my teammates are off to the sides where it's where they're not to be seen at all.
Prepare for ambush.
Yeah, prepare for ambush.
Okay.
Haha.
Okay. We have a plan. Woo! Okay. So you
So I'm
begin
the
playing your
sacrificial lamb.
music. Okay. You begin playing your music, and the 3 goblins that are outside the walls obviously hear it, and they will rush at you. And the 2 goblins that are in the tower will notice, and they will blow a signal and begin pointing and chattering in their goblin language. Sneedak!
No, not Sneegok. We're in trouble.
And then,
What's that? Will it hurt?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then the 3 goblins that are inside the town, one of them will barricade the palisades. and another one ducks into a hut. And one of them will approach the spider cage. And we will go in order of initiative. So, do you guys want to keep rolling off?
Yeah.
3.
5.
Okay. I'm gonna forever be last.
Not
One.
one.
I got a 1.
I got a 1.
So we have to roll
And
again.
we'll roll again.
6.
3.
Okay. Jankard goes first this time. Okay, so you have 3 goblins approaching a very squishy pan flute playing friend.
How far away are they?
They are almost within striking distance, so let's say about 20 feet away.
All right. I will close the distance and attack the closest one. Is that
Okay.
possible?
So, yes, you will jump out of the forest and startle them, but they are prepared for battle.
I roll 10.
You roll a 10.
I roll a 10. I should hit them.
Okay, what?
That hits them, right?
10 AC. Yes.
9.
Barely. Yeah.
Ooh, baby. 3.
Okay, you will drop the first one. Me! As your blade plunges into its chest. Stab! Ugh!
Yes.
And, Alan, your turn.
All right, I'm going to take one of their swords. I'm going to swing at them.
Okay.
14.
14, you will definitely hit. It is surprised enough by the sudden appearance of Tancred that it doesn't notice you as you swing for it.
3.
And you will drop it also as your blade plunges into its side. It gets along the ground. And that makes it their turn. The one goblin is surprised and taken aback by the sudden death of his comrades by an previously unseen knight and a pan flute player, and runs back to the palisades, which are, a good 80 feet away at this point. Let's see. And then those who are observing will notice that the one goblin has unlocked the spider cage,
Mm.
and the spiders begin to crawl out.
Well, Nisk missed his chance.
Got that one. And that one. Okay. Then we have one spider that has escaped the cage so far. The other ones are descending to climb out, but they are still there. Okay. Now it is Ape's turn.
Alright. I'm going to go in with my hand axe and one of my daggers.
Okay.
And I'm going to unleash the fury of my wolf.
All right. Well, you are going to have to run a fair amount if you're trying to catch the goblin that is retreating.
Yes.
Okay. You will be able to catch him as you are significantly faster as a dog man,
Come here, boy.
but you have had to run, so you've got a negative, we'll say, to your roll.
Alright.
Oh, good. Nope.
It's a 4 again.
Okay. So you're the act of having to run through this deforested area that's full of just tree stumps and other things has caused you to throw off your aim, and you miss, but are still engaged in combat. Varian, your turn.
Okay.
Alright, my turn.
I guess I'll run after the guy too.
Okay.
Can I catch him?
are slower than the Dogman, so no, you cannot catch them.
Okay.
And that makes it Niskel's turn,
Where are you, man?
who has quickly tied a bottle of the oil to an arrow and picked off a piece of his clothing as a wick and lit it on fire, and shoots it. Ooh. Actually makes it into the spider cage, and it sets the spider webs on fire. And you hear two of the spiders squeal in horrendous pain and come crawling out on fire as the other one starts to climb over the wall, aimed at the two people it begins to see. So you have one spider left, and the others are slowly setting the camp on fire as they are running around. You see a couple of huts as they, crawl and then, curl up and are still ablaze. There's a couple of huts that have caught on fire, and you see a couple of goblins pop out. The ones that had, gone in to hide. And one of them that had come, or one into there, the one that you had seen run in, rather, tripping over my words, you see 5 larger, they don't quite look like the goblins that you have seen before, but still look goblinish, come out, and they have thicker armor, they have broader swords, and they 5. One of them is quite large, the other 4 are a bit smaller, but still they appear to be more intelligent, just because they don't sound like complete morons when they're talking to each other, and they appear dressed for battle. And that makes it Tancred's turn.
It makes it time to flee is what it makes it. How close
Well,
are
they are in... What?
How far away are they?
It depends. You didn't run after like everyone else did, or the other 2 did.
No, I didn't.
So you are about 80 feet away, more or less. But they are in a fortified fort that is made out of wooden palisades and is currently setting on fire.
Let them burn. Make them.
They are
come
going
out.
to try to get out.
Huh?
They are going to try to get out.
Well, let's try and block them in then.
And you have a spider
Still
running
some
after
more
you.
oil flasks in there.
Yeah.
Spider's running after me.
Well, your group in general. It saw you and Alan Ashdown at first, because one managed to escape before the other ones got set on fire, and then Ape and Avarian are now closer to it, so it will probably, tactically probably attack them first.
Yeah.
But if you run, you might be able to get there to them at this point. Maybe.
All right, I'll run for it.
Ape is quite a bit further than Avarian is, and the spider's coming in at kind of an odd angle because it wasn't where the goblin was. But it has run with his giant creepy legs.
I'll see if I can intercept the spider.
Okay, well, say you get there just in time to be able to intercept the spider. The spider.
I attack. I do not hit.
What'd
I
you
got a
hit?
4.
Yeah.
4.
No, that's definitely not a hit. All right. And Alan, your turn.
I'm going to throw a javelin. I'm going to keep my distance and throw a javelin.
Smart. Okay.
12.
What are you throwing it at?
The spider.
How far away did you say? What was the range on that again?
Oh,
wait, I'm staring at it right now. Long range is 80. Was there a penalty for long range throws? I don't remember.
It's
minus
-1.
-1.
Yeah, it's -1 if it's long, and it's +1 if it's short.
Okay, that's what I thought. Since it is a long range, your throw kind of dissipates towards the end there, and it kind of bounces off the hind portion of the spider as it's running and attacking, being attacked by Tancred, or being missed by Tancred. And that makes it their turn. Okay, so the one goblin that was retreating has retreated in full and is pounding on the gates of the fort, not quite realizing that it's on fire. Let's see. So that goblin's alive. That one is doing that. The two goblins in the tower are going to try and shoot at Ape, since he's the closest. Ooh, natural 20.
Whoa.
Ooh, 1 damage. So Ape, you take 2 points of damage as an arrow cuts your shoulder open. The other one completely misses you. Well, that was lucky.
Yay!
Roll minimum damage! Okay. So those two went, and that makes it these goblins' turn. This one has caught on fire. He was near one of the blazing spiders. Fell on him. That one is trying to open the palisade gates to try and flee. And this one is being pounded by the other things to try and get him to buck up, get a hold of himself. And these ones, the other goblin-y looking things, 2 of them have bows, and they are going to try and shoot in the same direction as long shots to see if they can hit anything that the other ones were shooting at, and they do not. You guys see these arrows come over the palisade walls, shooting wild. And that makes it Ape's turn.
Okay, the one that I ran up to attack, I'm going to attack it.
Okay, you move up to attack him as he's banging against the palisade gates.
Got this wicked grin as I bare my fangs. Have daggers in each hand.
An axe and a dagger.
Axe and a dagger. 19!
Love how often she corrects him. Okay.
Thanks, honey.
It's hilarious.
Okay.
19 will definitely hit.
Alright.
His attention is not on you and doesn't even notice you come up.
6!
Okay. You definitely obliterate him. As he is pounding against splatters against the sides of the palisades. And you smell the stink of smoke and burning whatever it is in the air. I'm not going to call it flesh, because who knows what goblins are made out of. Or spiders. Alright. Avarian, your turn.
Attack the spider.
Okay.
15.
15 will strike. It is preoccupied.
I rolled a 1.
Woo! You managed to work off a small piece of its protective chitin.
Whack.
And it squeaks at you. And that makes it Niskel's turn, who will also shoot at the spider, but his arrow ricochets off. And that makes it Tancred's turn.
All right, swinging at the spider again.
Okay.
10.
Will not.
Ah,
Your blade, ting!
I have one job. One job.
Doesn't seem to matter. I know,
Not
right?
my chance to shine.
Okay, that makes it Alan's turn.
All right, I have the other javelin, so this is the final javelin that I stole from those goblins. 15.
15 will hit. So your javelin finds its home.
4.
All right, you managed to put out one of its eyes, but it is still up.
And in serious pain.
Mm-hmm. That makes it the goblin's turn, and the 2 archers will continue to shoot at you guys. They'll try to hit Ape because he's now the closest one, and that one will strike, and that one will get a natural 20. Man, this thing rolls 20s like nobody's business. I'm keeping that bad boy. So you take 4 points of damage from one arrow and 4 points of damage from another arrow. 8 points.
Sweet. I'm at -1.
Oh.
Ooh, and your wolfkin drops. Boom. And is currently bleeding to death. Yay! Unless
And
this
our-
rolls, you just die.
And our healers can't heal.
Yeah.
I'm so useless.
Let's see. Hit points represent a character's capacity for soaking up damage. While a creature has positive hit points, it is wounded but still able to fight and move normally. Once a creature's HP are reduced to 0 or less, it is dead. This is a necessary abstraction to allow game to flow smoothly and quickly without getting bogged down in the minutia of wound effects. So your wolfkin has died.
Oh, dang.
Lame.
You can play Niskell Farwind if you decide you want to.
Nah, I'm good. I'm pretty tired.
That's okay. He's a 3rd level fighter. Okay. Makes it Avarian's turn. No, that's not right. There's more goblins. They're doing stuff. That one died. Okay. The one goblin manages to get the gate open. And then is squashed by the other goblin, the goblinoidy things that come out. The 5 of them. And now it is Avarian's turn.
Okay. Attacking spider, 16.
You will manage to... What are you attacking with?
My mace.
Okay, you will definitely connect with your mace, and it will splinter more of its bony hide.
What was 6?
4, 6?
I rolled a 6.
For damage?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, you will actually crack its head open, and the goo will start to spread, and it twitches a little, but then slumps to the ground. Hey. Alrighty. That brings it back to the top.
Me?
Yes.
3rd time's a charm. No, it's not.
Alright, well, the gate to the...
It's not a charm. It's a 2.
Well, the spider is dead. So
Sorry.
how about you wait to hear the narrative, and then we'll allow you to attack
All right,
again.
fine. I was getting frustrated with that dang spider.
It's okay. The spider is dead. There are still 2 goblins in the watchtower that are shooting arrows at the 3 of you that are left. 4, including this school. Those goblins are dead. And there are now 4 goblins standing in front of, or 4 goblinoid things standing in front of another larger goblinoid thing.
None of those sound like good options to me.
Avarian, you've been forgetting your bear, by the way.
Oops.
Gosh. Anybody have any ideas?
Are they gonna have to come out through the gate where our dead buddy is?
Yes, they...
I'll
Set our buddy on fire. He still has oil flasks.
That's super jacked up.
What?
His body will still be useful.
Well, I was gonna drag his body somewhere away from the fire, I guess. He don't grieve that much.
You won't grieve that much? Well, apparently not, because
I
she wants
said
to
he
set it on
deserved
fire.
that.
If it's gonna save everyone else, sure.
Well, he's
Think of
got-
it as a funeral pyre.
All right, so what are we doing then?
I'm rescuing his corpse.
No, when they come out,
Okay,
we set
so
his corpse on fire. He still has the oil flasks.
Oh, his corpse is on fire.
Not
Not yet.
currently.
Well, then let's get his oil flasks and throw them at the thing. Right?
Well, I'm saying when the goblins come out the gate where his body already is, we throw a torch at his body, and then it.
Oh. I didn't get that. Okay. That's a pretty
So
good plan.
terrible.
They'll never expect it.
That's a good plan. It's what he would have wanted.
Terrible people. Okay.
Does anybody have a torch?
I have torches. I can hand some out to you guys.
Okay.
Throw them all at once.
I did have torches before I died.
Yeah,
Who said that?
Yeah.
I'll light one of
We'll
his
have to light the.
Can I light one of his torches and I'll stand by his body?
You weren't near the gate. He ran off towards the gate. You were fairly removed. But you guys did have to have a lighted torch to be able to make it through the dark wood. So there is a torch lit already.
Okay.
And she is about as far as you are. So I don't know if you want to take the torch from her and then throw it.
No,
I have more torches.
I don't think we need to throw it yet. They're not close enough.
They're standing. He was at the palisade gate, attacking one goblin. They have opened the palisade gate,
Right.
staring at his corpse, which is on the ground, in a red mist.
And I'm the next one to go, right?
After Tancred, correct.
So if
So
I
I
grab
can
the
use-
torch, if I grab the torch and throw it at the body, will any of my friends be in the blast?
Not the living ones, assuming that
Not
it
the living
actually
ones.
explodes. Yeah.
Why
Remember,
not?
you guys grew up with this guy too, so
All right.
This is for the team.
I have stipulated in my will that I wish to be cremated.
It's what he would have wanted.
all right. Roll your attack.
12.
12. Okay. You actually miss.
What?
Your torch goes wide. He's on the ground. He's dead, but it's also a torch you're throwing. It's a fairly long distance. You weren't that close,
Fair enough.
but it does catch the surrounding area on fire, and the fire is kind of creeping up towards the body. But
Awesome. My turn?
it's not there yet. Yes.
I cast ventriloquism.
You've just been waiting for this. Okay.
In my best ape voice. I said, "You guys, I'm not done yet with you. I'm going to rip you apart." And it's coming from him.
I like this plan. I like this.
Okay. Okay. They will start attacking the body, thinking that it's still alive. Wow. Okay. Yeah, they'll start hacking it up.
This is so awesome.
Pieces flying everywhere, and they're just ripping it apart.
And this
And they just kind of
lasts for
look
2
really
turns.
confused.
This lasts for
Yeah.
2 turns, right? Awesome.
Yeah, and they just look like super confused as to what's going on right now. And Ape is apparently taking his turn, being a distraction, which makes it Avarian's turn.
Okay, can I throw a torch out too?
If you decide you want to try that plan again,
Yeah, I'll try it again. Wait, yeah, 15.
15. Okay, you will actually hit the remains of his body with the torch, but it's also being attacked at the moment, so you're not entirely sure if you've lit anything on fire. Because I mean, they're flasks of oil, and it's they're not necessarily supposed to be leaking everywhere for it to
Well,
be
I'm sure they're broken by now.
catching. Yeah, well, I was getting there. But at first, it doesn't look like anything happens. and then not in an explosion, but in a large flurry of bright flames, the 4 other goblinoids are engulfed in an inferno as you have
This is
lit
perfect.
as you have lit the old body of your now desecrated friend on fire. And these goblinoids have destroyed these oil bottles that were attached, in his being. They are engulfed in flame and death.
And in Ape's best voice, I say, "This is so worth it."
That's super screwed up. Okay.
We have to do a scene like this, like almost every time we play.
Desecrating someone's body? That seems to be a recurring theme. I'm not sure if I'm comfortable with this as a play group. Yeah, and only this time. That's what you get for desecrating your best friend's body. You got to stop doing stuff like that, man. You don't dig up dead people once they, I don't care how drunk you are, Tim. That's not a good plan. Okay. I don't even know what to do now. So distracted by that. That's okay. Whose turn is it? It's her turn. It makes it back Tancred's turn. There is one giant goblinoid standing at the back of this inferno as what appeared to be his bodyguard is running around burning. He just looks confused and betrayed and angry as he kind of looks at the destruction that has been wrought upon his fort.
I'll take a swing at him. Can I reach him? Too far?
No, you're going to have to move up there.
I will move up and then go into the defensive parry stance.
Okay. Alan.
I'll take a sling and I'll throw a rock at him.
Okay. Make your roll.
I rolled a 20.
Oh, dang. Okay, well, roll your damage.
4. So that'd be 8,
4?
right?
Yes, that would be 8. All right. So as he stands there looking angry and appears to put himself in the position to charge Tancred, you get him right in the forehead and drop him like a stone.
Boom! Headshot.
Wow.
That was really anticlimactic. I was really hoping that would be a great fight.
I tried. I was ready.
I know. So he was going to all charge in anger and be all like, how dare you attack me? And have all these plans. All of a sudden,
I think that was the most useful thing I did.
Denied.
I know, right? And the magic user is the one that drops.
I don't hit nothing this whole battle, and then the
I know the magic user is.
Finally, my turn.
I know. That was my turn to shine. Oh.
I'm totally gonna blow this guy up. Nothing. I'm totally gonna take out the boss. Nothing.
Wow. Dry firing the whole time, man. Okay, so this fort is now in ruins, and you have lost a comrade. But Niskel has taken his trophy from the spider's hide to show his people and beckons you to return.
While we're here near the village, we want to find that plant.
The plant.
Okay. He will point you off in the direction of the plant, but wants to let his people know that the goblins in this area have been defeated, that they appear to be stronger than he originally realized, and also that the forest is currently burning. Because the underbrush has caught on fire that the goblins were attempting to clear, and has kind of started to spread.
Oh, it's not the dark forest anymore.
Lightened up a little bit.
Right? Lit up quite a bit. You guys were a great help in bringing light to the forest. Just
Wrong
not in the way people were thinking. Yeah. Okay. You guys will make it to the forest river, and it won't be that hard to find this plant as it grows pretty readily along its banks. And you'll be able to start making your way back. But it is 11:41 according to my clock, and I want to kind of talk about our experience with the game. So why don't we wrap it up there? And we will continue our adventures in the Land of Quest. However, next time we play, we will be playing a different system, and we will be playing our original characters, who are level 5. So we'll get a few more things. Oh, what's the matter? You don't like the first level characters? The one hit point you were supposed to have?
Yeah, I lucked out. But hey, I didn't take a hit point of damage this game either.
Yeah. So let's talk about Blueholme a little. What do we think?
I like
That's
it.
what we think about it, is abject silence? What?
No, it was basic. I mean, not in a bad way, but it's better than looking on tables like when we had to do that when we did which was that?
Osric.
That was pretty tedious.
Yeah.
This is much better.
That was mostly my inexperience on that one, because I was trying to keep all their ACs and stuff secret. I don't think everybody had it all printed out or anything anyway. But yeah, no, this was definitely a little more streamlined as far as that's concerned.
Yeah.
But the Holmes edition of D&D is basic. It was the basic set. I mean, it came after the original Dungeons and Dragons. White Box came out, and then it was before Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, which is what Osric kind of emulated. This is definitely, I think, a really good introduction. What else do we have to say about it?
No, I agree. It was much easier to use.
Weapons-wise, the D6s, I found that, easy. It didn't matter what you swung with, what you attacked with. It was always a D6. So we didn't have to worry about, well, is this a D4, D3, whatever. I liked, the 2 dice and only 2 dice. Helped out a lot.
Yeah. As much as I like variable dice damage, because I think it makes it a little more dynamic, it's definitely, you don't have to worry about it as much. You're just like, oh, I hit D6, the end.
But on the flip side of the coin, it's sort of, lackluster when the magic user's the one that does the killing blow with a rock. Compared to someone with a sword.
Well, you did, do the natural 20 crit thing, which once again, that part is the only thing that I really added to the rule system, because I just like, if you guys roll a 20, I like things to be kind of dynamic, and if you roll a 1, I really like to screw with things. But that is not in the basic edition or the Blueholme rule set at all. So that's just something that I like to add personally. I think it's a fun touch to anything. What else do we have to say about it, Lydia? I don't know how much experience you've had playing things. What do you think about this version compared to some of the other stuff you've done?
Well, I haven't had very much experience, but was there at any point where we actually referred to our stats?
Not really.
Yeah, I was just wondering about that.
Yeah, the earlier editions stats work differently. They don't necessarily add to, well, depending on what version you're playing, to your hit or anything like that. They more weight in the things and like in some of the other editions you get more experience depending on how high your strength is and stuff like that. If you're a fighter, you get a bonus percentage to your experience. In this one, it's knowing some things and other stuff like that, or it allows you to play one class or race or something else. Like strength, for example, measures muscle and physical power. This ability is especially important for fighters because it helps them prevail in combat. Thus, it is their prime requisite. So you have to have a strength that's so high before you can be a fighter.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not like 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons or like the Lord of the Rings game we played where your strength or whatever stat was so high and you got a bonus to be able to hit anything like that. And any skill checks or anything I have you guys do in this is just a straight out D20 roll, depending on however difficult I think it is, which is really, as far as the DM is concerned, makes things a lot easier to manage, because then you're not having to deal with a lot of additional things. Do they have a skill? Do they have a feat? Do they have, a attribute modifier? Do they have all the stuff that modifies and adjusts the roll? It's just, nope, you make the stinking roll. The end. Which, like I said, for me as a DM, it's a lot easier to handle. I wouldn't say more fun necessarily. It depends on what flavor of game you're looking for. But it's nice. It's nice to be able to just get to the point.
Yeah.
But what are some other things we noticed that we liked? Or didn't like, even? Does anybody have anything that they didn't like about the game?
I did.
Okay.
But we already discussed it. That was when you start off, low level of 1. 1 hit point was what I rolled to begin with. That would have been deadly. Just 1 trip while running through the forest, it would have killed me.
Yeah, well, welcome to old school D&D, dude.
Yeah.
It is play balance isn't a thing, man. Magic users often shattered like stinking glass.
Yeah.
It was half the fun of playing it was trying to keep them alive. Nolan, you were going to say something?
Well, the fire doesn't really do anything different at first level. I guess his save throws are a little better, but I don't know. It would have been nice to hit a little bit better or something.
Fair enough. So this is a reflection of Dr. Holmes' views of what original D&D should look like for beginning characters. And there's, that lots of, older ideas going on. It's a very good reflection of the game. I have the original Holmes edition as well. Old school 1970s. And some of the older games, things were, just different. A lot of people, I think, started out looking more similar, and then they got different. Like in the Journeyman rules, which is was recently kickstarted. I think it just barely finished, which I don't actually have down here at the moment. Should have brought it, didn't. It was getting kickstarted for art, but you see the differences kind of arc a little bit more in the classes, which I think, as far as playing is concerned, reflects people a little bit more than some of the newer games where you start off with all this really fancy stuff. But no, it's like you start at bare basics stuff. You're people, and then you become something better, as opposed to starting out being amazing adventurers, being able to kill 3 or 4 dozen goblins by yourself before you hook up even with your buddies. Okay, it's not that many. I'm exaggerating, but in this, it's a slog, man, and it stinking sucks being low levels. And then you get more experience and are able to do more. But yeah, that was one thing that I've always kind of had a complaint about in some of the earlier editions was fighters got shafted. They're always kind of important, being able to hit things hard and have a lot of hit points, but I never felt like that they were as dynamic as some of the other character classes were, but personally. But I don't know. I think overall I really actually like home apprentice roles, and I would play this game on a regular basis, just because it's fun. I mean, it only goes up to level 3, the apprentice rules. The journeyman rules goes up to level 20, so it expands this and brings a lot of new things to the table. There are 200 more spells, I think over 200 more items, lots of things. But this is really all you really need to play a good old-fashioned game of Dungeons and Dragons, where everything is stinking dangerous. Even tripping could kill you. And it's got everything you need. It's got loads of monsters, and it's got cool art. It's not custom art; it's all public domain. But I think it adds really awesome dynamic to just the document itself. Having all these really old school pictures from people makes it an interesting thing to look at. But it has everything you need: creature entries. As I said, breath weapons. It talks about skeletons and all that. It's got your nice wandering monster tables. So if you just want to do an old school dungeon delve, you can do that, and it gives advice on how to do all that. One thing that I loved about the Holmes edition that I wish would have made it in here is the crazy old school bonkers dungeon that they had at the end. I mean, that thing was just a basket case of confusion. But it gave you an old map and had you go through it. I understand why it's not added in here, and that's completely fine. There's loads of advice for you to make your own stuff, but that was always fun. And you don't see them as often anymore. I think in manuals, it's just there always have to be this nice structured kind of storyline arc dungeon and stuff, instead of just the crazy crap that people came up with playing the old versions of the game, which was always super fun. Just weird crap that you wouldn't think would be in the same dungeon because people are rolling on random tables. You're taking all these random turns because it's just, where do you go? I don't know. Let's roll a d8 and see what happens. Which, path does this turn on? And it's a really fun thing to experience, is that older style of play. It's a lot different now. Not that it's worse, it's just different. It's a lot of fun still. I do like a lot of the newer stuff. 5th edition is really fun. I do like that they kind of harkened back to a lot of this stuff with 5th edition. It makes it feel, to me, more legitimate and more congruent with how Dungeons & Dragons have went. But check out the Prentice Rolls if you guys haven't seen it. You can get it on... I don't know why I'm staring at you, Joe, all the time. Did I click on you? Is that why?
I'm not making any noise. I can mute it.
I don't know. It's fine. I don't know why that was going on, though. But yeah, check out the Prentice Rules Blue Home if you guys want. I would suggest you do it. Highly suggest that you do it. It's a fantastic game. You can get the rules for free, actually, on DriveThru-RPG, and I believe that we put a link in the bottom of the description. So do that. If you like what we're doing, please subscribe to our channel, like our video. If you like what we're doing also, it's always fun to get good likes. We like the likes. So please like and subscribe. The first Saturday of every month, we live play and live review a game for 3 hours, so you guys can see how it works, and then we talk about it afterwards. And so far, it's been once a week. We've released review videos, 5 minutes or less, on whatever products that kind of going to crossed our path. So far, we've done, I don't know, I reviewed Appendix N recently. There was also a series of card dungeons from Plastic Hand Games called The Adventurer's Guide to Dungeons that we did. So check those out. They're neat. You can see them on our YouTube channel. Our website, skinnergames.weebly.com, hosts a lot of stuff, although there's been some... one of my kids had surgery recently, and I haven't been able to update the website for a couple weeks like I wanted to. So I'm going to get on that now that he's good and getting better in recovery. But take a look at that. Let us know what you think of our videos. Sorry, my brain is going addled. It's almost midnight here, and I've been up for many hours, and it's 1 o'clock for some of our other players. So we're late. We're all going brain dead. But thanks for joining us, and we hope to see you next month during Virtual Role Playing. I'm not even sure what we're playing next month. Does anybody have that up? Does anybody remember? I haven't even looked recently. This is how scatterbrained I am. Usually I have that right.
It was on an email you sent earlier, but I don't remember which one.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll be playing something. It'll be fun. Yeah, because this is how organized we are right now. I think we're...
Is it Cthulhu Hack?
Fantasy. No, I thought we were going to play that in October.
Oh, that's right.
Crap, now I got to look it up, and I'm going to waste time. I hate doing that. I should just keep a printout of the schedule sitting right next to me.
Tape it to the screen.
These things. I know, right? Because now I look like totally foolish, and it's still live broadcasting, and I'm like talking just to fill up space. This is why I hate doing stuff like this. Check our website. We've also got the schedule up there for anybody who wants to see anything. in particular. I thought we were playing Basic Fantasy next time. It's still going. Which is also good and a free system that takes you up to level 20 also. Load. Sorry.
Man.
It's a rotten way to end it. Let's see, we're playing April, May, June. No, actually we're playing White Box from Seattle Hills Games.
White
We're doing
Box,
Basic
okay.
Fantasy. Basic Fantasy is in September. Okay, White Box is another good kind of introductory game, but it does take you up to level 20. But it's based off of the Swords and Wizardry White Box rules, although it's slightly different. Good game. Give that a look if you haven't seen it already, and that's the game we'll be playing and reviewing next time. But thank you for joining us as we played Blue Home tonight. Shout out to Michael Thomas and the great work that he's done, and thank you for joining us when you were able to in the chat, and for sending us these books. We love seeing them. We love the rules that you've done, and I highly suggest that everybody take a look. And
I have one.
Yeah, that's right. Nolan got one too. Woo! He sent us 2 copies of the Prentice Rules and a review copy of the Journeyman Rules. And when I get the opportunity to play it at tables, I'm definitely going to be throwing those out there for people. And if I can manage to get to a convention, I will do my best to try and run some, because that would be fun. But check it out. It's great. And I hope you guys will join us next time. And I'm going to stop talking now because it's that feverish late night, just rambling, and now I sound like an idiot. So thanks for joining us. Happy gaming, people.
Good night.